everybody.
She's been on her jolly travels.
I have. I only landed yesterday.
You've got a lovely glow.
Australia, thanks.
Lovely, and I'm loving the pink hair.
Well, I did it because you're having a baby girl.
Yeah.
Otherwise it would have been blue. That would have been a bad move. This is in honour of
the little, another little girlie to the JM. Well, you know, she's going to be very creative because she's going to be learning off all our wonderful guest designers, and of course, all you jewellery makers out there. Did you have an amazing time?
I did, thank you very much. And I'm just trying to catch up with everything. And Liz is here.
We've got Liz Welch. I tell you what, we're spoilt today. Can you tell we're really excited? There she is.
Hi.
How are you, Liz?
I'm really good, thank you very much.
Oh, bless you. She's a ray of sunshine. And that is, we've all said it this morning, haven't we?
Oh,
you are such a happy person.
Well, I love coming here because you're always lovely.
Even at this time in the morning.
Because it doesn't take much to set me off, you know. It really doesn't. We missed you.
What amazing things have we got? What's this?
We've got Saraphanite.
Oh, nice. In cabochons.
And can I just say some of the best quality Saraphanite as well. If you've ever seen Saraphanite before where it hasn't got those sort of angel wing inclusions,
that's incredible.
That's what's 9 times out of 10 what you see out there. This is some of the best possible quality. I mean, you can really see that angelic connection, can't you? Botswana agate. I know, amazing Botswana agate. Look at the Labradorite too.
Whoa.
Stunning Labradorite. And also incredible designer inspiration from Liz. I mean, every single piece. I said to Liz as I came into the studio this morning, I really wish I'd worn a little black dress. Don't think I can rock that right now, but all of these pieces of jewellery, I mean, look how wonderful this is, Victorian-esque.
Yes, that was the sort of theme for it, but with a modern twist on it.
I mean, I'd wear every single one of those. I know you would.
Particularly like this one here. That's amazing.
See, now my eye's on the next one, Martha. There's that one, yeah.
That's for the swan necks amongst you, you see?
Yeah, that one is, I think that might find its way, maybe on its way to Rome, actually, because I'm off to Rome tomorrow.
Are you?
Oh, we like doing tag teaming.
Yeah, we are.
High five to you off the trip.
Yeah, exactly. I'm only going for a few days, though. You went for 3 weeks.
I did, didn't I? I better go and catch up on some work.
Okay.
Loads to do.
So nice to have Martha back, isn't it, everybody? With her amazing punker. I tried to go all northern then, but it doesn't work, did it? Tried to. Shall I show you the Saraphanite that I'm talking about? It is absolutely incredible. Now, please forgive me, firstly, because I did just say that I do easily get a little bit emotional sometimes, especially with the pregnancy now. Funny enough, we were joking about it last night, Tom and I. But this gemstone has got real sentiment. If anybody has got anything that they think, any beliefs and myths and legends, if you've got a guardian angel that specifically comes to mind, and that's why I end up getting a little bit sort of overwhelmed by this gemstone, then this has got a real, believed to have a strong connection too. And you'll understand why when you see the actual gemstone itself. Top quality will display wonderful wing-like inclusions and its tiny traces of mica, which give a certain amount of chatoyancy and just a fabulous angelic connection. It's just fascinating. Completely and utterly natural. I know our Fleur, by the way, this is her favourite gemstone on the entire planet, so if anybody can get a message to Fleur that we've got these coming up, that would be greatly appreciated, I'm sure, by her. We've got all different, I'm just showing you one, and again, throughout the course of the morning, I'll keep bringing you different ones, but the quality of that Saraphanite is just off the chart. Absolutely amazing. And I'll apologise now if I do get a little bit... I do, Rob. I get a little bit overwhelmed with it all, just because it's such a strong and a pleasing gemstone as well. It's a positive gemstone, but it has got real sentiment to it, with me anyway. Now, loads of deals. And of course, the wonderful Liz Welch coming your way. Who, can I just mention, her water bottle? Can we show Liz's water bottle?
Honestly, it is full of water. I couldn't find my normal plastic bottle, so this was the only thing available.
I think that is absolutely amazing. Liz was like, I promise you it's not wine. It is water. Yeah, Liz. Yeah. Whatever, we believe you. That's fantastic. Now, we've got so much to bring you. I'm going to get started, actually. Get started on some beautiful rose quartz. Oh, look, on the buttery yellow gold, it is a metre. One of my favourite products that we bring you here at Jewellery Maker is these wonderful rosary chains. It simply wouldn't be possible, not only for your precious time, but the cost of all the ingredients that go into commissioning a piece like this. And I say piece because I do think of it as a piece of jewellery, with a lovely rose blush from, of course, your quartz, contrasting with the buttery yellow. Yeah, to actually recommission this, not only would it be very, very cost-effective time-wise, but also financially, because the amount of sterling silver and your yellow gold and all the faceting of the gemstones. I mean, there is almost 3 grams, did we say, Rob? 3? Yeah, exactly 3 grams in this entire chain. I have got a personal thank you to make, by the way, to the lovely Michelle for your very generous gift. And it was a chain similar to this, which I absolutely wanted, and she said, I've sorted it all for you. Bless you. So thank you so, so much. 1 metre here. Very rare do we actually get the rose quartz. It tends to be more the darker gemstones, but they always sell out. I mean, I'm sure you agree, Liz. If, as a jewellery maker, it's just not really something you'd think about making.
Ew, not when it's that fine. There's just too much work, absolutely masses and masses of work. And that is so beautiful and so regular. And they're just glorious. In fact, there's some with spinel, coated spinel in my kit, which I loved.
Yes.
I used every single tiny little
Every single
bit of it.
tiny bit. And you're right to say that. I totally agree. Just a couple of those, maybe an inch if you like, just on a shepherd hook pair of earrings, looks so incredibly classy and elegant. Should be £15.95. We're no way near. Now, Rob says, I didn't even tell you about this, Elle. What didn't you tell me about? It's a third off, £9.95. We don't do a metre of sterling silver chain at that price without the gemstones. We don't, do we? £9.95 with the gold overlay as well, which is very rare to see. We don't even sell the silver at that price point. Well done to each and every single one of you. Lovely to have your company this morning. Forgive the scratches on the hand, I'm awfully sorry. My little puppy does actually tend to hack me to pieces, but the beauty is being drawn to this wonderful, wonderful actual piece. I'm going to hold up to the neckline actually, because if I was to get this home personally, I'd keep it very simple, just restrand it, put a lobster claw and a jump ring on the end, maybe a matching necklace, matching bracelet, and even anklet, because you've certainly got enough here to create an entire suite and pair of earrings.
Oh, absolutely. There's an awful lot on there, and you can do so many things with it. I mean, if it's the same length as my spinel, I've used it in, I don't know, 3 or 4 of the...
Well, it would be, because like I say, that's the rosary lengths, and I can see it glinting from here, it's amazing. Yeah, it would be the same length, and it does go on and on and on, and you've actually added a couple of inches into a pair of earrings as well. It looks absolutely amazing. Well done, stay where you are on those phone lines. Good luck, good luck, good luck. Now, how about some tools? Only yesterday I was saying to Rob, my producer, where are all our tools? Here they are. Here they are. He said, I listened to you, Al. Yeah, likely story. Sometimes, he says, sometimes I listen to you. I said, where are all our tools? I haven't brought Jewellery Makers any tools in ages. Well, that's because they're all in this bundle. Tools of the trade. We've got your flat stroke round pliers. Now, I've not seen these previously before, and I'll lean on Liz's wonderful knowledge in a second to talk you through these pliers. But you can actually see the one side is flat and the one side is round. So I've seen either or.
Oh, we call them half round. That's what I know them as half round. And they're really useful when you want to make a right angle kink. You can make a right angle kink in the wire, but you can also then do a lovely curve over the back of it. So it's a very nice compromise. In fact, they're probably my most used pliers.
Really? So you use these above your round noses and your flat noses?
In one hand I use those, and in the other hand I use my round nose pliers.
There we go, jewellery makers. See, you learn something every day. Every day is a school day. I've never even seen these before, Liz, and I've been around for quite a while. So that speaks volumes. And I'm not just talking about my age before any of the boys in the gallery say anything. You know, I could see, I can preempt it happening, you see. So we've got those, and we've also got 2 other tools, your Comfort Grip flat nose pliers, and also your Comfort Grip chain nose pliers. So going back to what you were saying there, Liz, absolutely perfect.
Yes. Oh, well, they are. I mean, you want the flat nose pliers for many applications when you do not want to put any kinks in anything, and you want the round nose pliers for when you want to make loops and heads of eye pins. That's what I mean.
Yeah.
That sort of
What
thing.
about that rosary link chain like that?
Yeah,
if you wanted
would need
to make
do that.
something.
Yes, you do want the round nose pliers, but you always need 2 pairs of pliers when you're working with the wire to close things up. So this is where you would use the round nose pliers and one or the other of the other 2.
Now you can tell why Liz is a pro.
I have loads and loads of pairs of pliers because you just need them all the time for different jobs. So
there we go. Always needed, aren't they?
Yeah, they are.
And our tools are amazing. We're going to bring that JM price point for you this morning. £13.85 was already incredible, wasn't it? All 3. That's not just for one. You're not picking between the 3 opportunities. You're getting all 3 for £7.95. If you wanted to start in jewellery making, now is the ideal time because it is a special price. My producer is saying grab it whilst you can. I haven't seen tools or any type of pliers, even in quite a few weeks. And this is why they've been squirreled away for this morning's show. With the comfort grip as well, which you've got these very pliers actually on your desk, haven't you, Liz?
I think so. Are they there?
But they've all got this comfort grip, which means that, you know, you can make jewellery for a long length of time.
Yes.
I'm sure we've all done something, whether it be DIY, whether it be crafty, where you ended up with blisters on the palm of your hand. You know, I certainly have, maybe with painting or something like that, and it stops you doing it, doesn't it? You don't want to be hindered by dexterity, I suppose.
Yes.
And this does absolutely aid that. £7.95 only for the 3. And they are absolutely essential, aren't they?
They are, and you can never have too many pliers. No. Because you've always got one pair buried under something and you can't find it. So you need to have lots. But that's an amazing price because you'd expect to pay that for one pair.
I would imagine. Yes. Yeah, and probably outside of these 4 walls, in excess of that.
Yes.
Sharon Louise, good morning, my lovely. She says, good morning, Elle and Liz and crew. Can't wait to see the gorgeous designs. Oh, Sharon, I can't wait to bring them to you. I really, really can't. They are amazing. Good morning, Deb, my lovely. Nice to see you. How lovely to see Liz, isn't it just? She's always so positive and lovely. Looking forward to this show. Me too. She's a ray of sunshine. You really are a ray of sunshine. Emma in North Hampshire saying, please can you tell me what those large cabs are to your right? I certainly can. They are brand new. Oh, I've never seen that size before. Coming up in this hour, oh my goodness, my goodness, my goodness. That's 600 carats, not just the one. You've got, as you can see, 5 here. 600 carats of picture jasper. Coming up in this hour, so not long to wait. Have you ever seen picture jasper of this size?
Not that size, no. They're just gorgeous.
Aren't they?
They're really lovely. And they're also not really, really fat. So they're big, but without having a massive amount of weight to them, if you that makes sense.
Absolutely.
Which makes it more comfortable to wear.
Absolutely. And probably easier to work with, I'd imagine.
I think so, yes, absolutely. I don't tend to do the wire wrapping that all the other lovely ladies do, so I use other things to make my...
Oh, you have talents elsewhere, lovely Liz. Shall we take a wander over as you're messaging in saying you're really excited about this kit? I am too. This is sort of bang up my street. I love this style of jewellery. I just think it's so incredibly elegant. Liz, your talents are absolutely amazing. And you have been very, very, very busy, haven't you? Now, shall I show you the kit first and then the pieces of jewellery? I think I'm going to have to. So for 1 second, I don't know, I can't see through it all. Let me just pop that there and I will move them back, everybody. Now, it does come in 2 parts, and the reason why, I saw some questions actually on Facebook like yesterday. Somebody was saying, how come Jewellery Maker are actually doing the kits in different parts now? We do that for affordability reasons, because not everybody's going to want the gemstones, not everybody is going to want the lace, not everybody is going to want... So we do that actually to make it more affordable and break it down that way, because if we put it all in one, then you might not necessarily need one part.
That's very true, I think.
Yeah.
Yes.
So I just saw a comment yesterday and I was like, you know what, I'm going to mention that because it's a really good point, and it's a fair comment to make as well, so please don't think I'm getting at you. I'm actually hopefully just saying this is why we do it. Anyway, totally digress. Shall I start? I'm starting with... Has to be the black spinel, doesn't it?
Yes.
It has to be. Is this the... To me, this is,
it's just beautiful on its own. It really is lovely.
So Tiffany's.
I was so thrilled when I saw that in the kits. I really was. It's just gorgeous.
Whatever the price this kit is, and I genuinely don't know as of yet, is going to... I'm going to have to put that by there for a minute. I'd pay for that.
It's just beautiful. You pay an awful lot for just that.
This is so stunning. It's black spinel and it's coated with this gorgeous gunmetal sheen, so it sparkles beyond belief. That's 30 carats right there. I mean, how high-end and classy is this?
Well, it's just gorgeous.
It reminds me sort of your Lorraine Schwartz, your Chanel's, your Tiffany's and Co. All the big jewellers lean towards spinel rather than black diamonds in many cases, actually, just because of this wonderful paparazzi flash. And it's not brilliance, it's all a surface luster that you're getting across the actual spinel itself, which is, you know, untreated. It's amazing. But when you add then this gunmetal coating, and don't be frightened of that, like I said, it's all done to enhance. Ladies, it's no different than you and I putting a bit of lipstick on in the morning. We want to make the most of what we got. And basically, Rob's like, I've never heard that before. It's because I think some people are frightened of gemstones which are actually treated.
Yes.
And actually, it's 95% of the world's gemstones are treated. Look at how it really encourages that wonderful surface luster. I need to move on. Because I'm just talking about this, getting carried away about this one opportunity. Let's add some stunning pearls. Silver pearls, no less. This is a really lovely, soft, delicate silver as well. It's not brash.
No, it's also, I think it's on the pale blue side of silver, actually.
Yes.
That's what I read it as, more as a pale blue.
Yeah,
it's
I'd
very
agree with
lovely.
you. A powdery colour, isn't
Yes.
it? A powdery colour. Really elegant.
Yes.
And soft.
Very soft.
So any skin tone as well, because sometimes a certain amount of, certain types of pearls, I mean certain colours, if they've been bleached to a high degree, I can't wear them just because I'm too fair-skinned.
Yes.
If it's a subtle bleach or if they're natural colours, then I can. But this is a really subtle tone, isn't it?
It's lovely. I think it's also on the warm side of blues, because I mean, I'm saying blue, but if you think of blue, it can be really cold colour.
Yes, it can.
But that's really just lovely and warm, just gorgeous,
Yeah,
gentle tone.
Totally agree. Let's add to same beautiful shape, but in black. So you've got your black pearls
But
here.
they're like oil slick colours on them.
They are.
They're really gorgeous.
It's that pearlescence, but also the really high orient. The reflection that you're getting across the surface of these is just absolutely immense. But then Rob's favourite, my producer, is saying, Elle, bring in the black obsidian, please, because it is amazing. Now, they're flowers, or crosses. I look at them as both, but they're checkerboard faceted on both sides as well. Totally and utterly natural. For those of you that are thinking, oh, obsidian's a black gemstone, it's more than that. It's a black gemstone, which if you actually really get up close and personal, you'll see a kind of like galaxy going on in there, flashes of gold. It's really intriguing as a gemstone. Martha, as you've just seen now, Martha, our sales manager, it's her favourite gemstone. It's steeped in history. They used to polish it up to a very high degree and use it as mirrors, believe it or not, back in medieval time. But we've still got more. We've still got more to bring you, including your threading pack, your monofilament and your beading thread. And you're also getting your memory wire pack, which I haven't seen these in I don't know how long. You get 10 of the large and 10 of the medium, or the necklace and the bracelet, whichever way you look at it. And you get 14 of the rings itself. We'll show you how to use these if you've never used it before. It's so easy. And by the way, just a recommendation, you do need your memory wire cutters. Don't use your normal cutters with it because it is obviously toughened. Now, 1, 2, 3, 4, I want to say strands, but you've got that spinel in there as well. Precious sterling silver. And high-end gemstone strands should be £44.20. Wow. I'll say it again. I'd pay it for the spinel. You know, and the pearls, £27.95. I'd pay it for the spinel.
It's just, yes, I think it's really worthwhile. They're really, really gorgeous stones. You know, this is one kit where I think I've got 4 stones left. Yeah. Because I just loved using it all. It was just gorgeous.
You used the entire metre?
Yes.
I don't blame you at all.
All of the spinel, and I honestly have, I think, about 1 of the silver pearls and 3 of the black pearls.
You definitely need to make yourself something with that, Liz.
Yeah.
I mean, I know it's only 4, but it's still going to make a difference, isn't it? It's still going to create a lovely piece of jewellery. On our own website, by the way, the spinel with the sterling silver, and it is sterling silver rather than sterling silver over copper, is actually £12.95. So you're getting 2 strands of pearls and your obsidian, plus the threading pack, plus your memory wire for, as you can see, the rest of that. It's an incredible deal, isn't it? And brand new, by the way, new shape. We actually launched these, or this shape, yesterday, wasn't it, Rob? In the rose quartz. Hugely popular, no surprise whatsoever. And the faceting is not only encouraging that luster, it's also really encouraging the obsidian internal inclusions, which is just wonderful. Now, let's bring you the second part of the kit. I don't want to put that down. It's so beautiful, and I've seen probably, well, certainly tens of those chains. That's my favourite.
Well, it was glorious when I saw it twinkling in the bag. I was just delighted.
Amazing. Now, also, Liz, I've not seen this lace before.
I checked. I was looking to see if any of the other designers had. I couldn't see that they had.
Yesterday, I was with Gemachrome. We had metal lace, which, if you weren't able to tune in, was absolutely incredible. I think it all sold out. But this I've never seen before. Yeah. This is my favourite. It's like a scalloped effect.
It's gorgeous. It's really amazing quality. This is really, really thick, beautifully made lace.
Can you see that?
It's just gorgeous.
Let me pop that it down to the table, because I think my top is actually losing it.
Yeah.
Isn't that gorgeous?
Now, you can use all the different elements of it.
Oh, so yeah, like little fans, aren't they? So actually cut it, there's nothing stopping you cutting it up?
Well, that's exactly what I've done for quite a few things.
How many metres of this we're getting, sorry? 7 metres in total of this one. 7 metres in a different pattern black, which I'll show you also. I'll show it next to. If I pull this back a bit, then I can hold, I'm sure I can display it a lot better than what I'm doing right now. It's because I'm surrounded by Liz's amazing jewellery. And then you've got 7 metres here. Now, this is slightly different, but...
It's lovely. It's got little hearts and crowns on it. That's how I think of it.
Yeah.
Little hearts and crowns.
Liz, it's a little bit sexy.
Yes, actually, that's true.
Let me get that little bit of fluff off there. There we go. It is. It's a little bit sexy. But also, why not? Yeah, absolutely. A little bit. But then you've made it very feminine as well, and what looks like created structural pieces of jewellery with these.
Oh, definitely. It's really good, thick lace. It's not flimsy.
No, and I know how expensive lace can actually be.
Hugely expensive.
For like a metre, you can pay...
Oh, £3–4 for a metre.
For 1 metre. Well, you've got 14 metres here already. Now, then...
That's so feminine.
It's so gorgeous, isn't it? Especially next to these two blacks as well. Now, you've got 10 metres of the white. And they're individual sort of rose clusters, aren't they? So you could separate these out. So stunning. So in total, can you actually dye them?
That's what I've coloured them, just with acrylic paints or alcohol inks if you want to as
well. Oh wow!
So,
oh yes, I can see.
Which you can do obviously with the white, but you can't so easily do with the black.
No.
But you could spray it if you wanted with the black.
Yeah, with like, oh, that's a good idea. So. That's a really good idea. Now we should be for 24 metres here at Jewellery Maker. We should be apparently £22.85. Well, that's already working out at less than £1 a metre, isn't it?
I mean, that's an amazing price, just like that.
Just like that. But really that's nowhere near. Nowhere near, Liz. £12.95. Even if you don't know what to do with it yet.
Exactly. It's a no-brainer. There's just so much. And I have made all these pieces, and I've got my practice pieces as well, and I've still got metres left.
Tons and tons and tons, and you've made a lot of jewellery here, and also home decoration pieces, which I absolutely love. In actual fact, let's show you Liz's pieces. Do be on those phone lines. Make sure you do check out as soon as you possibly can. Again, this with the kit looks amazing. Bring these round again, so Liz, I can show them off because they are absolutely beautiful. With the memory wire, you've used that as well. Created some really wonderful embellished Victorian style pieces. Martha was like, that's my favourite. I was like, that's my favourite. Love it. In fact, I'll step this way, shall I? Just because I think I'm hiding some of your pieces of jewellery.
The busts that JM have don't really show the collars off very well. We need to get some better busts that got necks. So, because collars are really very fashionable, particularly with lace.
At the moment as well, they've really come back into back on trend as well, haven't they? Yeah. And you've got a lovely little tissue box here.
Well, actually, it is a collar. I just put it on. We didn't have anything to put it on, so it's just a piece of cardboard that I've wrapped a scarf around, and then the lace is wrapped around it, and that is very on trend again with the polymer clay set into the lace.
Do you know, that's amazing? So you could actually use it for both.
Yes, you could easily, but they're designed to go around your neck
collar,
and you could just put the lace around any scarf you happen to have.
I love this. Liz has made a handbag with pearls.
Yes, and the other half of that lace, of that scarf. And the handles are memory wire.
Ah, genius! Isn't that incredible? You are so talented, Liz.
Well, I love doing the textile stuff, and it's one of the things I adore.
Oh, and these earrings are amazing as well. I don't know if you can see those up there. If I just put that down, they're stunning, and just those a couple in a chandelier style effect.
Yes.
And you were saying about cutting them, so you just cut out one fan there.
I cut, yes, and stiffened it so that, and then stitched it together. Once it was stiff, stitched it into a little cone, and that's basically it, really.
Just absolutely incredible. Loads of you getting involved, and again, it's fabulous that jewellery making is about your textiles as well, not just about sort of your beading and mediums that we've been doing for many years. I'm going to take a wander over to our lovely Liz because you're going to do some demonstrations.
I am, yes.
And also which one are you demonstrating first?
Well, I'm going to show you how to stiffen the lace, and we're going to do the one that's closest to you first.
Fabulous, because you've actually dyed these, haven't you?
Yes, so I'm going to show you how to do that as well.
So absolutely amazing. Talking of textiles, actually.
Ah, yes.
You know, the boys don't know. The boys don't know I'm going to do this, but I'm sure they won't mind. You've got one very lovely lady.
I have.
To mention.
I get her?
Yes, please do.
Going to get...
because we were talking of textiles, and Liz had a nice delivery this morning. And by the way, can I just say, can I order one, please?
Here we go. Here she is.
Look.
And she is absolutely gorgeous, and she has been made for me by a lovely lady called Jennifer Peascod. And she's even got bloomers, but and the dress comes off and everything. She is just beautiful.
Oh.
So thank you so much, Jennifer. And Jennifer's actually making a whole load of these, but with beautiful faux fur, really plush faux fur, and she is going to be selling them for charity.
Please, can I have one?
Yes.
I want to order one for if I can for a little girl, would be amazing. So there we go.
Jennifer, if you're watching, I suggest that you put a post on the JM Facebook page.
There we go.
And then everybody will know.
And get in touch with me.
Yes.
Lovely. There we go.
She's gorgeous, so thank you very much.
She is amazing. She is amazing. Beautiful.
I'm going to sit her on the chair.
Yes.
So she can watch.
Not in the background. So you're going to be making this wonderful piece.
Right, yes. So I'm going to talk a little bit about the lace, because it is very soft when you get it, okay? So really nice and soft this is. But we have, I don't know whether you've got that, you have got that to hand.
Yes.
Some, what's it called? Stiffened stuff. Okay, I've used loads and loads of stiffener in my creative life with fabric and textiles, and this has to be one of the easiest to use. So for making jewellery, it's perfect. If you want to stiffen meterage, then that's a different matter.
So is it just lace that you can use this with?
On all fabrics. It's best on the natural fabrics because it soaks in. If you've got lots of synthetic fabrics, it sits on the surface and it doesn't stiffen as much.
But it does work, but not as well.
Yes, exactly. You'll get a coating rather than it sinking into the fibres.
Okay.
So putting it on synthetic chiffon is not going to be as good. You'll see a sort of a shimmer of a coating on the top. Whereas with these laces, I think there's a rayon thread here and a cotton underthread as well. Certainly with this one, because it's shiny on one side and slightly less shiny on the other.
Yes.
So the thread underneath is the cotton or polyester cotton. So there's enough in there to really absorb.
To hold on to.
Yes,
I'm just looking at this. It's great for, it's saying on the front, bows, doilies, silk flowers, crochet and more. So you can use it on cards even. You can use it on cards.
You could use it on all sorts of things to stiffen things. And if you, on really soft handmade papers, you could use it. You might change the nature of the paper slightly. With silk, if you use it on fine silk, it tends to make things go translucent, which is actually really lovely.
Yeah, I bet.
So
we'll bring the price in for you just before we get into it. $9.95. I mean, there's a lot here. It's 12 millilitres or 8 fluid ounces there, and it's going to last a long time.
A very long time, because you don't need very much time, particularly when you're making jewellery. So.
And how long does it take to actually dry?
That depends a bit on the air temperature and how soaked you've made the pieces. So 2-3 hours and it's dry, or you put it on top of a radiator, or you can help it along using your heat gun or hairdryer.
Okay.
Just beware of using a heat gun though, because you have got some man-made fibres in these.
Yes.
And you don't want to overheat them.
Yes.
Wreck it,
you don't want any flames or
no,
anything
or
like that.
You're more likely to melt or distort.
Oh, burn, I suppose.
Yes, yes. So it's sticky, so I find the easiest thing to do is just use a plastic bag. So I would take a piece of this, however long I wanted it to be. So for that necklace, I would just take enough and make sure I've got plenty there. So
Better to have too much than too little.
It is, because you can always chop it up and chop your little pieces off later.
Yeah.
I try and chop it so that I've actually got a complete flower or unit at the end. And I'll take a little piece of this one as well. And I'm just going to chop it straight off there, but I'm going to show you with this that if I cut around this scallop shape here, which I can see, I hope you can see it, am I in the right spot? You can just trim it up. I should have brought my very fine scissors, actually, but I didn't.
That's all right, we can see loads of messages for you as well, Liz, coming through. There are lots of people. We will get some on shortly, but lots of love for what you're doing. Look how lovely that is.
So that is the shape that I use to make the little earrings with.
Do you know what that reminds me of? An ice cream wafer. It always goes back to
pregnant ladies' food.
It does, but it is like
one of those very posh pompy.
Used to use them a lot in the 80s.
Yes, exactly. They never tasted very nice, though. I thought they were disgusting, a bit like cardboard.
Yeah.
So
these are much prettier.
Yeah. So whatever you want to use, and whether you want to cut out shapes now or whether you want to stiffen a whole length and then cut out afterwards, that's fine. So then I put it in my plastic bag.
Ah, now I wasn't expecting you to do that.
Well, it just makes it easier. So now I'm going to really give this a good old shake.
Okay.
And then, just make sure I'm pointing in the right direction, I'm just going to spray it.
Now it does actually say on the bottle, I'm reading it here, always cover work area with plastic, because assuming if you did this on a wooden table or something,
you'd have stickiness. And yes, and you then have mess to clear up.
Yeah.
So, and also when you want to really mush it in to get the stiffness all the way through, it makes your hands quite sticky. So if you're not into sticky hands, then use your plastic bag, and then you can just really...
Top tip!
Just squish it together.
Love that. It kind of looks a little bit like UPV glue, doesn't it?
Very thin.
Yes.
But it's not, because it doesn't give a... if you use PVA, you're thinking she's UPVC. That's the stuff you sit on now when you're outside in the garden, isn't it? Or you have your windows done from that. But PVA glue, if you use dilute PVA glue, you get a slightly glossy finish.
Liz, you know what I'm like anyway. I love. Yes, no, not that. Yes, that's the stuff. PVA
glue. Well, you can use it, but you tend to get this slightly glossy coating, which you don't necessarily want, particularly with textiles. You don't want that coating. You want it to still look like the textile without that sort of shine.
And it can almost form windows, can't it? So if you have PVA glue, it can actually form a sheen.
Yes. It can, absolutely.
In between the lace.
Yes, that's exactly right. It fills in the gaps. So you've got a slightly milky finish on that. Can the camera pick that up, do you think? Can you see?
Ooh, yeah.
Slightly milky finish. That will soak in and dry off. And the nice thing about this stuff is if it's not stiff enough the first time, you can do it again.
Okay.
Because it soaks into the fibres. So I will put that to one side, and I'll just check that this is the right sort of stickiness. I'll move that this side out so you don't get that all over you.
Don't worry.
Now this has now got the mixture all the way through, and what I did is I actually have a little metal bust at home, but you could just put plastic on one of the white busts, cling film over it, and then arrange that over the top.
Oh, so it forms the shape?
Yes, so that as it dries it forms the shape. Sometimes if you've got little kinky bits, it's a good idea to iron it before you start.
Even whilst it's wet, or when it dries?
No, I'd iron it before I've even put the stiffened stuff on, just so that you don't have little bits
tufts
like that. You can actually even them out a bit afterwards, because as it dries, let's just take some of this off my fingers because I have got it all over me. As it dries, you get the chance to shape it a little.
Okay.
And also when it's dry, you can reshape it by heating it a little with a heat gun and just shape it again.
Right.
So that it's a really useful tip, because you think, oh, well, it's done. I can't do anything with it, but you can iron afterwards.
Right. Okay.
So I do that, or leave it on top of my radiator or whatever till it's dry. But the nice thing about using the heat gun to assist it is that it allows you to mould and shape a little bit more
as you go.
But it takes too long to just. You'll be watching me forever just drying this. So
imagine that it's dry.
Yes, imagine that's dry, and
I do that.
Have a piece that is dry. So I'm going to just shove that to one side slightly.
Sure.
Do we have that black? I'm just going to grab the black thing, then you might find it easier to see. Excuse me,
she's going for some of her water.
No.
Really, that's what it is.
I just thought it might be easy for you to see. So now you can feel the difference though, Elle, can you, with it? This is now
Gosh,
stiffer.
you really can. Yes, it's gone quite rigid, but in a nice way. It's not scratchy.
No, it's lovely, and it will just hold its shape and won't flop when you make it into your necklace. Okay, so now on the necklace I wanted to have, because the pearls to me look slightly blue,
yes,
I thought I was going to dye little bits of my lace just a pale blue. So to do that, I need my plastic bag again, but actually a pot is really handy, and I am going to get my water out. Shall I move that, because I don't want to get blue colour all over everything.
Aren't they lovely as well? I mean, how bridal are those? Matching earrings for this necklace. So beautiful. So you're putting some of your wine?
Yes, I'm putting some of my wine in.
Not really, it is water, I promise you. But Liz has put in some water into a little bowl.
Yes, and what did I just do with that plastic bag? Here we go. I want that there, because I'm just going to use this as my surface to work with. So if I take this piece, the pieces on top, I didn't stiffen. I wanted them to be soft. So I'm just going to take that, cutting carefully again. So this is what I've got, and I'm just going to put a tiny drop. This is acrylic paint. So this is very fluid acrylic paint, but you could use whatever acrylic paint you've got. You can also use some alcohol inks if you want, but I prefer to use acrylic paint for this purpose, because if it's going around your neck and you've got perfume and you've got alcohol inks, you might just get a little bit of colour come off, and you don't really want that.
Yes, I suppose because of the alcohol and everything as well.
Whereas acrylic paint is basically plastic, and when it's set and it won't come off.
Okay, again, top tip. I wouldn't think of that, would you? So, great. And you put the tiniest amount.
Yes, it's very strongly pigmented, so you'll need to experiment. But you could experiment on, say, just a piece of cotton. You don't have to experiment on your lace.
And the more you put in, is it going to make a darker colour?
It
obviously.
Is, absolutely. So
squeeze the excess off?
Yes, squeeze off a bit of excess. I've just got some water in a spray bottle here, and I'm going to put a bit of water in here. That's a cutter. I'm just going to put that in there because I don't want it to be too strong. So I'm just going to dab a little bit on here. Okay.
Love it.
And just squish it together. And see that you get, I quite like having it slightly uneven.
Yeah, kind of like a tie-dyed effect. Well, it's like they kind of remind me of forget-me-nots now.
They do. And if that's too strong a colour for you, then you can just dunk it in some water and just wash out the excess colour. But if it's the right colour for you, then take a bit of kitchen roll, and we'll move that to one side, and you can just dab that dry.
Blot it off a bit.
Yes, and the colour will fade down a little because you're taking off any excess. And for this, I wanted a subtle colour. I didn't really want really strong blue. So there you have those lovely little bits of blue. And if I compare it to the white here, can you see the difference in colour?
Yes.
It's just very subtle. And then you add on top the little pearls,
which is going to encourage that baby blue again.
Exactly, and it's just gorgeous. So you just literally just cut off your one piece at a time. Choose your pieces. I suggest you use smaller scissors. I don't know why I brought just these big
Again,
ones.
you can see, because we've got, what was it, 10 metres of this white. You can see just how much of it is going, it's going to go, how far it's going to go, rather.
Absolutely, it's going to go for miles.
If you're using the individual rosebuds like Liz is right now, that's working out at, what, 54 pence per metre?
It's incredible. I mean, and this is what I've still got left after doing all of this and my practice pieces.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 pieces.
Some of them are really, really lace heavy. So the one that Martha likes has got a lot of lace in it, as has the stretchy.
Yes.
Because that's all pleated up. So it really goes a huge long way.
That stretchy that you were saying as well, that could be a hair bobble, because they're back on trend now, aren't they?
They are.
You know, the scrunchies.
Yes. Very 80s.
Very 80s. We were talking about that yesterday, actually, saying, of course, you know, Gemma and I, we were saying that apparently it was good big in the 80s. We wouldn't know. Liz, not going to laugh. We wouldn't know, would we, Liz?
No,
because we were only tiny. We were only babies at that age.
I wish.
Yeah, me too.
Okay, so I want to tell you quickly then about some of the other pieces, because that's the basic technique. But if you want to make, say, the collar or the bag, we're going to just show you how I do that. So for the collar, I took this lovely, lovely lace.
This is my favourite.
It's really lovely. It's very versatile. And then I took basically 2 pieces, longer than this. We'll use the other end, shall we? I got myself tied up in knots with all of this. There's so much of it. And you just overlay them like that and hand stitch at these places. Yes. And then you can just take, you can either stiffen a piece of the other lace.
I've just had an idea for anybody that does any bridal fairs. Garters.
Yes, I thought that too. And I also thought, I know, it was actually my husband's
really
idea.
Expensive.
They are. But you know modesty panels?
Yes.
See, because they could be really lovely. If you were somebody like Sammy with her fantastic sort of dresses, you could have a lovely lace modesty panel over a bit of satin or something like that. It would be really good.
Absolutely. Yeah. My mum bought one of those. It was quite a while ago actually, from a person from a very well-known brand that's could be Stratford-upon-Avon was actually the inspiration of the name of that place.
Right.
Shall we say? She bought one. I'm sure it was about £15.
Yes.
But it's only a little bit of lace.
Yes.
That you just attach to either side of your bra straps.
You can use all sorts of things to do
Great idea.
it. So it was my husband who came up with that actually.
What, the garter?
No, the modesty.
The modesty.
Panel.
I was like, why am I not surprised that it was a man that came up with that? But I mean, they are expensive garters, aren't they?
Oh, they're very expensive, and it's lovely to be able to make one for yourself, so something special. So this is the stiffen piece.
Yes.
But you don't have to use a stiffen piece, and then they get attached here. And then what did I add on top of that? That's when I added the beautiful obsidian on top.
It is amazing.
With a little bit of the spinel, and it's just stitched hand stitching. So.
Can you see those obsidian just there? And then a little bit of your spinel and one of the black pearls, and then just down here you've got a tail of spinel. So stunning, and the shapes really work with one another.
They really, I think so too. And the other thing is that I used some chiffon ribbon, JM chiffon ribbon, to tape across the end on either side, so it would go underneath.
Just our normal ribbon, this is?
You could use, this is just the normal JM.
Could you Zari thread, I suppose?
No. You needed something to be a bit wider because you're going to put hook and eye on there.
Oh, okay.
So any ribbon you've got, but I quite like this. It sort of stayed with the light theme of it. So stitch that down. I did that by machine, and then just attached hook and eyes so that you can hook it up at the back of the neck. So that's how the collar is made. Now the bag is, if I have got a piece of scarf here somewhere, in here is a bit of scarf. Here we go.
I'm loving this. Did you actually, is this embellished onto an existing bag, or is this one?
It's just a
See, now Liz,
half a silk scarf.
Liz is very talented. See, could you embellish a bag that you've already got?
Yes, you could. You'd have to hand stitch it on to a bag that you've already got, whereas that I constructed from scratch. So I just used half of a scarf. This is a bit of a narrow silk scarf, but I used half of a scarf.
And you can buy those quite inexpensively now, can't you?
Well, in charity shops and stuff, you can find all sorts of fantastic scarves. It doesn't have to be silk, it could be anything. So if that was my, I'll turn it around that way. So if that was my bag, pretend that was the right shape of the bag, then I took my lace and I placed it so that I would have it dangling down the bottom. So with one, I would open that out, opened it out, and then basically just stitched with my sewing machine straight across there, so that this is floating.
With some black cotton?
Thread. Yes, black cotton, because I wanted it to merge in with the lace.
Yes.
I wouldn't have used the green because then the thread would, the stitch line would be visible.
Yeah.
So then you then put the next one on, and you can decide where you want that to be, and stitch, and again until you get to the top.
Absolutely amazing.
So then the bag construction is, you can either line it if you want to, or you can just stitch up the sides and turn it inside out and you're done.
And again, using the memory wire itself, which comes in the kit, and that would just literally be a 360-degree loop, I suppose.
Absolutely, cut in half.
Cut in half.
And then I wrapped it with tulle, net, mesh.
Yeah?
Which I have somewhere. Why does that always disappear? It's so fine. It's like bridal tulle, but it's black.
Yeah, fair enough.
Or you could use the this ribbon.
Yeah, nothing stopping you
look.
doing that. Here we
There
go.
it is.
Oh yes, I see what you mean.
I use this quite a bit because it made me think of Victoriana and things like that. So, So that was the bag, basically.
So wonderful. And again, there's nothing stopping you using this lace when it comes to sort of updating your own wardrobe as well. I mean, we were talking, what sprung to mind is I've got a very plain black skirt, which I hardly ever wear because it is very plain.
Yes, and that would really lift it.
You could just have a couple of, just adding a little bit of lace around the end would really add something, and you'd only use a tiny amount.
Absolutely. And then with the bits of lace that you have got, you can use some black polymer clay.
Okay.
Which was my, which is what I did for some of the little accents.
Where this is going.
I've rolled this out already. I wasn't going to bring the whole machine with me. And then you can just roll that in. And if you roll it firmly, I've rolled the polymer clay out on thickness number 1, so that it's good and thick. And then you can pull that off, and you've got a great impression. And then you can choose what bit you want to cut out. So then we cut it out, and I always tend to pull the polymer clay away from the shape, because then you keep your shape. So one thing can you hold that up to? Yeah, that's a good idea. Does it pick it up? Yes, it does. Yes.
Isn't that amazing?
And that's just with using the lace, and you could use any of the lace, because that's why I say it's really good and thick. So even if you only use your scraps for doing that, it's just another way of doing
great idea. Just a couple of text messages to show you. Pauline in East Riding of Yorkshire says, so much inspiration, and it's not even 9 o'clock. Love Liz's smiley face. Sarah in Cheshire says, such stunning designs, Liz. Incredible talent. Yeah, absolutely. I totally agree with you.
That's
there.
really kind of you.
And by the way, we can't show everybody's because there's so much, so many messages, but thank you so much. We'll make sure Liz gets them all. Now you've got your heat.
I have, because you could put it in the oven at this point and bake it, and then we'll do the next bit, but I'm going to just speed that process up by, if you heat it up, you can sort of bake the surface or harden the surface just enough so that you can then apply white paint. Because the last time I was on, I showed you how to backfill with polymer clay. We did sort of mosaic effects with a sticky polymer clay. So you baked a piece that you got an impression in and filled in all your gaps with this sticky stuff.
So if you go onto YouTube, by the way, if you're intrigued by what Liz is saying, you can see her designer inspiration on YouTube.
It was, I can't remember what date of January, something like 26th of January.
Could probably find you just by your name, to be honest.
Yes, you would, yes. So did that. So, but this time we're going to use a bit of paint. So I just find this quite quick and easy, because then I've got my design ready to go in the oven. This does not preclude baking, I will tell you that right now. But you just need it hard enough so that I'm going to get messy now. I'm going to put a little bit of white acrylic paint, doesn't really matter what it is, and just really rub it in. Get it in there.
Now if you hadn't have hardened it, then you'd obviously be rubbing out the imprint,
you
wouldn't
would,
you?
Absolutely. So just make sure it's in all the hollows, and then we'll find a baby wipe. I'll need a baby wipe in a second, which I hope I've got there. Take off some of the excess, because it's still a bit warm, because I'm just trying to get to do this last bit of demoing.
Bless you.
So baby wipes are wonderful.
They are, aren't they?
Yes.
Yeah.
And you can get off. Now I like it when I've still got a little bit of the white dulling down the shiny black. But if you really want it to be really, really
monochrome.
Monochrome, yes, or I mean really stark contrast. You just need to keep rubbing away with your baby wipe to get rid of the acrylic ink, the acrylic paint. So there it is, all ready to go in the oven.
Beautiful.
And be baked for half an hour.
Beautiful.
So. And then I used to use the glue that, various JM glues to attach it.
Yeah, which is available all on our website. Yeah. Absolutely amazing. Thank you so much,
Liz.
It's a pleasure. Always a delight, isn't it? And again, we'll upload the pictures of Liz's wonderful pieces, and we'll make sure she gets all of your messages. So sorry we haven't had a chance to show every single one of them, but we wanted to see how we actually do this. Now it is time for your first star buy of the day, and we've had messages about them. They are the wonderful, the biggest, but also some of the most beautiful picture jasper cabochons that you could wish for, and it's up next. Okay, I've just asked Rob, I said, okay, so how much are these going to again? How many have we got? 82 is how many we have available. It's not nearly enough. I think that is not for picture jasper, not for this size. Now here at Jewellery Maker, for those of you that are new, because we have had new customers, Liz, lots of new people getting involved as well throughout the course of your demonstration. Welcome to the family. We need to realise that, yes, a lot of our wonderful family are very, very, very knowledgeable about gemstones, but also some might not have actually seen picture jasper previously before. It is a beautiful, genuine gemstone, which has got the formations which are the number one attraction, the actual visualities, the characteristics, the ribbons, the rivers, the banding that we actually call in this gemstone is the main appeal of it. But since we've been established, which was over 5 years, we have, and this is not me just blowing JM's trumpet, we've sort of gained, I suppose, the recognition of one of the largest buyers of coloured gemstones on the planet. And I'm sure Liz will totally agree with me here that in my personal time here, which is coming up to 4 years now actually, I've never seen this size previously before of picture jasper. Usually they tend to be the smaller gemstones, maybe about, I don't know, 6 by 3 millimeters individually, maybe even the plain rounds. To have individual gemstones of this sheer volume and size is exceedingly rare. 625 carats comes in the bundle, and here I've got 5. You might get 6, you might get 4. It all depends on the actual packet itself, all different shapes as well. But what we need to remember and remind ourselves is that for this very opportunity, this one single cabochon to be available, what would have been unearthed would have been considerably more in terms of the carat weight than what the end result actually is. Because the lapidist, and yes, a cabochon is still cut by a lapidist, has to consider where is the best place to orientate this gemstone? Where is the best place where I'm going to see the beauty of the actual picture jasper itself? Where is the best place for me to create that curve? Because if we also put kind of an opal hat on for a second, picture jasper or any gemstone which is all about the formations, you've got to know where to stop and where to start, if you know what I mean. For example, if you cut too deep into the gemstone, then you can lose some of those wonderful layers. If you cut too little, then you might not be getting the best out of that beautiful gemstone. So it's having the eye to see exactly where the gem is at its most beautiful. And my goodness, the lapidist really, really, really has known where to stop and where to start. These are singly the biggest picture jasper cabochons. I'm not just talking here at Jewellery Maker, ever that I have brought. They are stunningly beautiful, totally and utterly natural, not dyed, not enhanced in any way, shape or form. You can really and truly see that it is Mother Nature's incredible treasure, and yet the biggest picture jasper that I've ever brought you, and the only picture jasper that we have available in cabochons, is coming your way at an astonishing deal. $19.95. I know, Liz, I knew you were going to do a double take then. Isn't that amazing?
That is truly incredible. That is just amazing. I mean, imagine if you just did some really simple wire wrapping, really simple, and sold that at a fair. You could get 30 quid for it, just for one.
I'd hope. Yeah, absolutely. And I'm sure you agree. I mean, we've seen this gemstone before. We're very lucky to be.
It's one of my favourites.
Is it one of your favourites?
I love the patterns and designs in it. You can always see landscapes and things.
Yes. It is obviously Mother Nature, isn't it? I mean, there's no denying that it's that it's a genuine gemstone. Funny you should say that, actually, Liz. Debbie in Wiltshire, Elena, I see a landscape in the cabochon you're holding up. Do you? Yeah, like a mountainous range.
Very oriental, actually. It made me think of sort of Chinese brush painting and things. So that's what it did. So you see the one on your. The oval one.
Yes, this one.
Whichever way round it is.
Yeah, because it's confusing when you're on television.
But it is like a mountain range, the other one, isn't it?
I see what you mean, actually. Yeah. Yes, it's kind of, you can see the, kind of like the Rockies, I suppose, isn't it?
Yeah. It's really beautiful.
And then this one again, mountainous range.
Yes.
It's just absolutely stunning, and it's wonderful how this gemstone has actually progressed. You can see the progression of the gemstone. You can see how over millions of years that this is actually sort of layered and layered and layered and layered and layered up. Again, every single one will be different, as unique as you and I. And Liz pointed out the fact that these are slightly, they're not really big, heavy gemstones. They are. You can see the carat weight there, but what I mean by that is they're not really wide, so perfect for jewellery because they haven't got that added bulk there. The beauty is in the width actually, so
yes.
it's been added to width-wise and lengthwise rather than in the density of the gemstone. Well done. Only 82 of those available. Well done to those of you that were so successful. Now I've got literally time to bring a couple more opportunities, and that's it before we move on to the next hour. Do stay tuned though, because I've got it's the hearts. It's the love hearts. Are you getting both? 20 metres of the antique copper brass heart chain. This is my favourite of the chain.
I've never seen that before.
Oh, Liz, it's so lovely.
I have to wait till it comes up on the monitor so I can see it clearly.
Isn't it beautiful?
Oh, that is
and you're
lovely.
getting both of these.
Oh, I want those.
Aren't they amazing?
They're really lovely.
I just love the fact that it is quite a vintage colour, perfect for this coming weekend, by the way. Get this home because I think there's going to be tons of inspiration with that. One of our most exclusive links as well with the individual little hearts. Can you see those? Which are connected against one another. Should be, incredibly, £31.90. Gosh, I tell you what, Rob did say, Al, there's a lot of deals coming up this morning. 20 metres. For £17.95. Liz just did a little bounce. Oh, she's not there. She's over there.
I'm sorry.
Here she is.
Just grabbing my bits and pieces. Do you know that it would go really, really well with the next kit?
It would. Oh my
really
goodness,
would.
yes. It'd be perfect with the next kit. That's working out at what, sorry? 90 pence per metre. Individual little love hearts which connect against one another. And we saw in the spinel earlier on how Liz just took a tiny section, probably like an inch in a pair of earrings. Similarly, if you just use this and put one of those pearls or any of the gemstones that are coming up in the next DI, these would look stunning, wouldn't they? Because you've got that romance or friendship, whichever way you actually look at these, and very, very, very on-trend colour. Hello, Yvonne, Kathy, Ruby, Angela, Surrey. Hello to you, Jacqueline, Buckinghamshire, Heather. Good morning. Aren't you glad you got up nice and early this morning? Because I tell you what, we've been spoiled, absolutely spoiled. Don't go anywhere. Check out those baskets. Now, there's more from the wonderful Liz, the ray of sunshine that she is. More incredible deals, more brand new ins, including your Saraphanite. So make sure you do stay tuned for that. Brand new Swiss Blue Topaz coming your way. Tons of premieres after this.
This is a Jewellery Maker announcement. Join us for our Vintage Fair weekend. We'll have all of your favourite guest designers creating bespoke jewellery and giving you lots of inspiration to get that vintage style from a bygone era. With classes on vintage combs, 1920s layered pearls and Art Nouveau brooches, you'll be glad you stopped by. The Vintage Fair weekend starts Friday the 19th of February. Now, off for a cuppa. 2 sugars.
Now, in terms of value, gold fluctuates massively. maybe some would say not as much as the stock market or housing prices, but it does fluctuate quite a lot. In fact, it's come down a little bit over the recent year or two, but the long-term trend tends to be upwards. And the interesting thing about gold, of course, is most gold in the world is used in jewellery. A lot of people think it's used in other things as well, which is true. It's even used to put sunblocks on windows in big office blocks. But most of the world's gold is in jewellery. It's been worn. And the great fact I heard recently was that something like 99% of all the gold ever uncovered is still in jewellery today, which is amazing. It just gets, you can melt it down, you can reuse it, you can melt it down, you can reuse it, and so on and so forth. So the gold in your wedding band or in anything you buy might have been Cleopatra might have been wearing it. Who knows? It might have been recycled 100 times.
Tune in this Saturday for Gems of Distinction rubies and precious metals.
No, I tell you what, there's so much to bring you this morning. I'm really excited. The next designer inspiration is absolute, my word was lush. It is lush. Look at the quality of those pearls.
They're really gorgeous, actually. It was a lovely, lovely kit.
You went Welch then as well, Liz.
Yeah. Did I?
Look at that. Yeah, incredible statement pieces. That's coming up in the next hour. But this hour, we've also got, Botswana agate faceted rounds, which is coming up, brand new, premiere, coming up at past, guaranteed at under £10. Again, look amazing with the designer inspiration in the next hour. Yesterday we had Botswana agate, and I think it was literally as close to a sellout as it possibly could be. But so exclusive, so brand new that it has only arrived in the studios literally just, is 35 carats of Ethiopian opal. Now, OMG. This is one of the deals of the century. I know I've become all theatrical and everything, I know that, but genuinely, I think this is one of the deals of the century. The main seam is no longer in production, we know that, right, for Ethiopian opal. That means that, unfortunately, it's looking like this gemstone could potentially deplete from that location. When I've said on air, and if you haven't heard it before, when I've said on air, and I'm paid to keep my ear very close to the ground and sort of try and suss out what's going on within the trade. And it is always, to a certain degree, a bit of a guessing game, but... And again, I hope you take this as I mean it. 9 times out of 10, I'm actually right, because I learned from Steve Bennett that you just heard there, my colleagues. We've got in-house gemologists, so we're experienced in the trade as well. So 9 times out of 10, we're actually right. About 6 months ago, maybe even more, I actually said, get Ethiopian opal as soon as you possibly can. The prices have soared, and the quantity, well, now it's stopped. This is amazing. You've got the longest strand of Ethiopian opal that I've ever brought you of this quality. Individual plain rounds, which I absolutely adore. 41 centimetres. Now, I always show it like this because here in the studio we've got hundreds of lights. It's so that you can see Liz and I and her wonderful designer inspirations. But for opals, actually, because there's so many lights, it can actually sort of drown out the play of colour. Not here. Wait till you see this. I'll shelter it. Gosh, there's so much I can't actually physically hold it in my hand. I'll shelter it somewhat, so I'm blocking a little bit of the light out. Look at that quality. Can you see those reds?
does look like fire. When we were looking at it earlier with a bit more dark, it just looked like fire in there.
Oh, it's absolutely astonishing. And it's so brand new. It arrived literally minutes ago during that during that short break there. Absolutely incredible. It's coming up as well this hour, so please do make sure you stay tuned. It's the longest strand of Ethiopian opal that I've ever brought you. I've also got Saraphanite coming your way at 11:30. Strong angelic connections. It's one of the most powerful of gemstones in terms of its myth and legends and beliefs. Totally and utterly natural. If anyone can, get a message to our gorgeous Fleur saying that this is coming up. It's her favourite gemstone. It's tiny mica inclusions, which you might have heard of mica before. I'll talk some more about during the opportunity, during the star buy. It produces a wonderful chatoyancy like this. And there's that angelic connection, a little bit like an angel's wings. Absolutely incredible. I've never brought you Saraphanite quite like this. I mean, they are breathtakingly sizable and really showing off all the characteristics that we long for in this beautiful gemstone. 11:30, that's coming your way. But like I say, loads to bring you. Shall I start with all of these? Oh, what a lovely palette of colours. Rob, did you make this bundle? I love it. Amazonite, which is one of my favourites. 100 carats of your Amazonite. I'll show you which one's which. Then you've got your apatite. Neon apatite, more to the point. I'll go through every gemstone. This is your Amazonite just here. It's the 360 degrees strand opportunity. Beautifully natural. Then you've got neon apatite here. Do you know the average carat weight of neon apatite is 0.15? Well, there's 185 carat here. 0.15, not 50, 15. 185 carats. Your lapis lazuli is totally and utterly natural. Look at that intensity of blues. You would expect, or you would imagine that to be dyed, wouldn't you? Where the colour would be encouraged, but no, absolutely not. All Mother Nature's doing. So exceedingly high quality of your, again, Afghanistan lapis lazuli, so from the original country of source. You've then got your amethyst, natural amethyst, not heat treated in any way, shape or form. Because of that intensity of colour, I would assume that it is actually from the Gemfields mine, so the Zambian mine. Then, last but by no means least, you have got your natural lemon quartz with that lovely buttercup yellow. I adore this bundle, Rob. I think it's just working all together. Should be £19.95 for all of these genuine gemstones. Never mind that, our bundles are designed to bring you the best possible savings. I mean, here at Jewellery Maker, that's what we're all about. £12.95. Can I do that maths quickly enough? 100, 250, 350, 450, how much, sorry, Rob? Okay, you beat me to it. 775 carats of genuine gemstones for £12.95.
Well, I think it's an amazing deal, because from here, that has to be probably the brightest colour of nuggets that I've ever seen. You know, the little chips nuggets. It really is really bright. Normally, you get a mixture of stuff that's got some colour and some more muted colours, but those are really saturated colours.
Absolutely. Well, if you single them out, and I'll lay them out individually, shall I? Just because you can see then the consistency and the quality, like Liz is talking about. You know, sometimes you might get, especially with chips and nuggets, because they might be offcuts from a gemstone piece of jewellery that might have been made for, I don't know, Monica Veneda. It might have been made for Chanel. It might have been made for Tiffany's. It might have been made for sort of more of a high street brand. I don't know. So they can be sort of offcuts, hence the organic shape, but that doesn't lessen the quality necessarily. Well, these are such... Gosh, I can't even get them all to you. There's so much. These are such a high quality of colour and consistency of colour and everything that we aspire to individually. The Amazonite is one of my favourite gemstones. I just think it's a really beautiful spearmint green. And I'm going to put the apatite here just to separate those two because they are quite a similar tone. Neon apatite as well, so exceedingly rare to get. That lovely intensity of colour. Every single one has got that perfect, as you'd imagine it, textbook colour as they are described as genuine gemstones. Again, lots of customers getting involved, and we've got messages coming in. Stunning bundle. There we go, Robbo. You should go into fashion. Fashion. You should, shouldn't he? Well, he's very tall, and I know you've got model connections, haven't you? He said, please stop it. Can you do like the catalogue poses and everything? He said, I'm taking the graphics out. He doesn't like that being mentioned. Why? Moving on. Sorry, 8, did you say? Oh, I beg your pardon, that was me. Briolette cut, smoky quartz. This would go amazing with that bundle just. You want full-bodied, rich and intense colour when it comes to your smoky quartz, and you've definitely got it here. It's a high-end strand, double packed as well, as you can see. It was Linda Brumwell that pointed out to me once upon a time that, Eleanor, with a strand like this, you've got ready-made pairs of earrings and it's all laid out for you in terms of its size. On that basis, doesn't it hit home just how many pieces of jewellery you can create out of one tiny strand like this? I mean, they really do go a long way.
Oh, they do, I think so. Because they are each individually beautiful just to be on their own.
Absolutely. And of course, smoky quartz is known and recognised globally as a rare and valuable treasure. I don't think there's been a single year where it hasn't been desired, because it is a lovely, soft, exquisite colour. It kind of reminds me of sort of classy gemstones like Zarite. It kind of reminds me of Alexandrite. I'm not necessarily talking about the colours that they actually have, but it is a really sophisticated gemstone. £27.90 is where we should be. How about a full, crisp orange note back in your pocket? More or less. £17.95.
Excellent.
That's a lot of individual solitaires there as well. And they're not just necklaces or earrings.
It could be anything. And they're very classy, I think.
Wait, I've just noticed something, Liz.
What?
Sorry, my bad. You're getting 2.
Oh, really?
My bad, I'm so sorry.
Wow.
Yeah. Now that makes it an altogether unmissable deal, doesn't it? That's less than £10 per strand. Shall I approximately count what's on 1, 3, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41, 42. So you've got approximately 84 individual solitaires, which are sizable and significant. They go right the way up to oh, I haven't got the measurements here. Well, it's 230 carats in total. So yeah, 230 carats in total. But I'm going to say double figure millimeters in terms of their size and dimensions for just £17.95. Again, this with your high-end gemstones like the spinel that we had earlier on. They're going by 7 by 4 millimeter, right the way up to 12 by 7 millimeter, and you've got that lovely briolette shape. I imagine I'm not on next week this weekend. I'll be in Rome, but the lovely Becky, I'd imagine, will be talking a lot about briolette cuts, because it's one of the most vintage, distinctive cuts that was around in that generation and era. So I can imagine that a briolette will come up into conversation quite considerably on the weekend. It's been around for absolutely, well, decades. Well done, do stay where you are. What an amazing deal. Moving on to loads of beautiful threads. Oh, I love that green. And your Eslons. Now, this is a little bit of we've got an all sorts bundle here, so it's not just your Eslons, but you've also got the lovely Zari thread. Can I show you the red first? Because this is actually quite new. I don't know if Liz has seen it yet.
No, I've not seen that.
It looks like there's 2 different patterns, yes. It actually looks like you've got tiny, tiny individual crimps. It's like a tube pattern, basically. Positioned together, can you see that? I'll hold it like this. Positioned together to bring you all of that gorgeous shine.
Is that a fine one? Oh, it's a bit like tube beads.
Yeah.
Looking like lots of small tube beads.
Yeah,
yes.
put together. Yeah. Isn't it lovely?
It is.
Now, I'd never seen this before up until a couple of days ago.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, I love this.
I've not
really
seen that
reflective.
colour.
No, I've not seen that colour either. Then you get that really wonderful emerald green And this is a spiral pattern, so you can see the difference, and I think will work amazing against one another. In total, how many of you've got 100 metres of each of those on the 0.5 millimetre in terms of their gauge. Then you've got all of these lovely Eslon threads, and again, differences in gauges and sizes. So the teal is your 0.9, you can see that's quite thick. You've got how many metres? 32. And then in the 0.3, you've got the scarlet and also the gold, and there's 260 metres on those. Now your Eslon, great for all of your beading, really, and certainly your pearl knotting.
And the
Micro macrame, most definitely. Can you sew with?
Yes, you can, yes. You can sew with it. You could put it in your bobbin on the sewing machine if you want. You can put it through the eye of the needle, but you could put it in the bobbin, as long as you either bypass the tension or loosen your tension off, and then you could, what I term, stitch upside down. It doesn't mean actually physically going upside down, but your pattern will appear on the underside and it'll look like it's been couched.
Yes, I know what you mean. Actually, sort of an acquaintance of mine does incredible pieces of jewellery with stitching and embroidery and things like that. So yeah, I'm wondering this would be incredible for that, I'd imagine.
It's very tough as well.
Yeah, and it's got a lovely lustre behind it.
And that colour combination is gorgeous.
Really works, doesn't it? And I like the fact that you've got the different thicknesses, but Eslon can be very, very expensive. We've only recently started selling it here at Jewellery Maker, because our guest designers were crying out for it. For the entire lot, £8.95. And I know that so many of our guest designers, I'm sure Liz will agree, will say you could pay that for one spool of the Eslon with postage.
Easily. And the Zari thread, well, actually, I love the stuff. There's so much on a reel.
Yeah.
It goes on and on and on and on, and you can use it in so many different ways.
Yeah.
And the sparkle, you add the sparkle to something a bit more matte, and it just lifts everything up.
Absolutely, because whilst they look, I think if somebody's afraid of colour right now, when you actually take the thread off the spools, they become far less daunting, don't they?
And to add a little bit of red, say to the colours I've got in the second kit, just a little bit of red, because you don't even have to use the same amount of red in proportion to all the other colours. You could just use, you know, a fraction of it, and it just looks gorgeous.
Absolutely.
It lifts the colours.
It really does. I've popped them next to the DI that we've got coming up. I mean, look at these, how well these go with the actual kit that we've got coming up in the next hour. Amazing, it does. It will lift,
really
won't
does.
it? Really lift. And the same applies with your Zari thread.
If you use just one strand of the Zari thread against, say, 2 or 3 of the bronzes in the other kit, then that would be perfect. That would be lovely. It would be exciting.
Again, that's what it is. And the knotting detail, lovely. Absolutely. And lots of you come getting involved as well. The quality of Eslon makes it one of our hottest sellers. Mark Smith actually said to me, I voted it to be the product of the year for 2015.
Really?
Because it can go across so many different mediums. Macrame, as we just mentioned. Kumihimo looks incredible. Your beading. We were just talking about textile jewellery, interior design, card making. I mean, it is so versatile. Hello to you, Mary. Hello to you, Jill, Elaine, Margaret, Janet, Avril, Catherine. Hello to you, Wiltshire, Angela, Zara, Sue-Ann, Linda and Julie, Em in North Hampshire, Dawn and Laura and Vivian. So nice to have your company, ladies and gents. Lots of incredible deals to bring you. In fact, we'll move on to the next one, shall we? Stay where you are. You have got it. Well done. Now, moving on to... this is... Talk about sophisticated and classy. Wow. Again, this will look amazing with your kit.
Yeah, exactly. And I'm thinking it's sort of, there's Hollywood element to this, or sort of, you know, on the catwalk, the red carpet, I mean,
yes,
the Oscars and things like that.
Yes.
You don't even have to do anything to them, actually. You just drape them around you, I think.
Look, can I just hold the one strand up to the neckline? Just because I think this is what we were talking about as a sophisticated gemstone that smoky quartz is. A fine smoky quartz should have clarity, you know, like a diamond. And should show fire, absolutely, but should still have that gorgeous colour. A smoky quartz of this quality can look like a champagne or a cognac diamond.
It's gorgeous.
And this one strand is certainly reminding me of that. I bought myself a while back now, treated myself to a diamond solitaire from our sister channels, or what was our sister channels, and it was too good an opportunity to miss. The diamond was too amazing to miss, basically. Not particularly big, but amazing quality. And it's almost identical to this,
Yeah.
to this smoky quartz, almost identical. And of course, I paid 3 figures for it. It was a little treat to myself. This is, I know it's not going to be that price tag. I just restrand that, Liz.
Well, yes, I would too. I think they look lovely together, and across the studio, they just look so clear.
Yeah, absolutely.
Really beautifully clear.
Do you know what? I'm going to mix them up actually because I don't like. I think they need to be.
I think you just need sort of a random rope of them around your neck.
Yeah, sporadically.
Yes, just randomly twisted together.
Gorgeous, absolutely incredible. So all of that adolescence with your rainbow moonstone and all the brilliance that comes from your smoky quartz, $6.95 only. For those of you that are new to us here at Jewellery Maker, welcome. Firstly, lovely to have your company. Do stay with us. Do you know what? Jewellery making is a big, big, big family. And we bring you here genuine gemstones that certainly, as you can imagine, the most incredible price points. If you want to, you can download Certificate of Authenticities. Join us on Facebook as well. Join over 50, I think it's over 55,000 now, friends on our Facebook page. You can get in touch with Liz and myself as well, and gain inspiration and learn as you go on our own website. We've got various different tutorials, and we've got tons of CDs too. This is the type of jewellery that initially when we started launching the nuggets, the chips and nuggets, that some people are like, well, what do I do with those kind of shapes? But they've become one of the most infectious and one of the most addictive because they're the textures that they actually
it's
create.
the contrast in the textures, because it's lovely to have the cabochons and the big stones, but you want something gnarly next to them, perhaps. The contrast.
Well, that's a good word, Liz.
Yeah.
That's a great word, isn't it? Gnarly. I like it. It is. It is gnarly.
Yes, it is. Because for when I'm looking at and designing jewellery, colour is the first thing I look at, and then it's texture and shape. So it really, for me, it's in that order, and they have all the texture.
They really
They're just
do.
gorgeous.
And it doesn't surprise me that you say that, given the fact that your love and passion is of textiles and things like that.
Yes.
So it doesn't surprise me that you are a tactile person too. Loads of you having this in their baskets, like Kathy, who's bought 3, Vivian, Shirley, John, Laura, Zara, multi-buying, Julie, Wendy, Jane, Leslie, Norfolk. Gosh, I can't read everyone's names, but it's very, very, very busy this morning, rather. $6.95. That's for 3 strands here. 3 strands of genuine gemstones, and very sophisticated. And listen, I don't mind telling you, I haven't got the budget for a Zari as a gemstone, but I still want something which has got that wonderful elegance. So there's a way of doing that. Now, moving on to, are you kidding me, Rob? How much is this?
That is so blue.
How much? Wow, it really is
Dude,
incredibly
the colour's
blue.
incredible.
I bet you can guess the location. It is, of course, Sleeping Beauty Arizonian turquoise. Now, what is the difference between Sleeping Beauty and normal another turquoise? Because you can get turquoise from different locations. Tibetan turquoise is a little bit more greenish in colour and has your matrix across them. You can have other USA sources of turquoise, rather, which it's an obvious gemstone, isn't it? We tend to know what the gemstone is straight away. However, from this one tiny location, quite remote location in Arizona, it is famed and celebrated and hugely invested in by some of the biggest jewellers in the world because of its very energy of colour, the vivacity and tone. It's probably obvious that you can, and you can understand why Tiffany's & Co. invested millions into the mining of this gemstone, millions, because of the colour, connection, and obviously their brand themselves. And in particular, they were interested in Sleeping Beauty turquoise because of the sheer quality. Now, unfortunately though, turquoise is very shallow mined. It's not a gemstone like tanzanite where you can keep digging deeper and deeper and deeper and deeper in the hope of actually finding more. This gemstone is often found around copper mines as well. It has got a real copper presence within, which brings this colour, but very shallow mine. So if you find that the gemstone is getting less and less and less, then it's pointless continuing to dig deeper because it's only going to get more limited editions. So at some point we are going to have to say goodbye to Sleeping Beauty turquoise. The lack of matrix or webbing, which means, you know, sometimes you see those veins and patterns across the surface of a turquoise, makes Sleeping Beauty so distinctive. And I knew it was before we even brought the graphics on. It's just so incredibly incredibly obvious, that energy of colour. If I was to hold this next to any other locality on this planet, then you would see, you'd pick this out literally in a line out without shadow of a doubt. And for that very reason, usually is very considered. It's usually probably the most expensive source of turquoise in the world. This is totally and utterly natural. It's not treated in any way, shape or form, and we're at $59.95 today. Totally natural, not dyed, which the majority of turquoise will be to encourage the actual beauty, or even reconstituted, which basically means that they'll get accumulation of turquoise, maybe tiny fragments, grind it down in the same sort of process that they do with shell pearls, and then reconstitute it into a shape, a specific shape, whether that be round or oval or square, whichever that might be, to make up a more beautiful gemstone. This is how it's been unearthed. It's not been, obviously it's been faceted, of course, it's not been treated in any way, shape or form, and you haven't got any black matrix marks within it and that real, almost neon colour. Shall I hold it out for you? This is high end, and again, a real testament to JM's quality of sourcing fine gemstones, don't you think? It's
wonderful. It's so vibrant. I've never seen a strand like that, actually. Never, ever. Not that. The clarity of colour is just phenomenal, because normally when you think of the turquoise, it often has a slight muddied look to it. It's still lovely, but slightly muddy because of all the little black veining and things. But that is so beautiful and vibrant. It's as though somebody's photoshopped it, actually.
Yeah, absolutely. I totally agree with you there. Yeah, and it's not. It's just a supermodel.
Yes,
it's a supermodel of gemstones.
A bit like Rob, really.
Yeah, a bit like our Rob. Yeah, exactly. Our Rob. Come on, we've got to get you doing a pose at some point. So. He's not even answering me. He's not even answering me. Hey Rob, what? Hey, listen, you should be proud. No, he says. Why? What? Come on, Ryan, you do a pose. Can we see one of yours? Oh, the camera's not working. Yeah, whatever. Whatever.
They could always pop in here.
They could always pop in here, exactly. Come on. We want to see poses, don't we, ladies?
Yeah, definitely.
Now, this is a bundle for your glue, which we referred to earlier on, Liz, didn't we? And
yes.
I don't think there's a single live show that goes by where one of our guest designers don't refer to it.
Yeah.
Now, you have got your E6000, two of those. Now, and I'll ask Liz to tell me the difference, because I'm sure you know what the difference is. Two of your E6000 glue, and then two of your GS Hypo Cement glue with the precision nib. So, Liz, what do we do with our E6000?
Well, E6000 is actually probably my most preferred glue for jewellery making, other than for precision applications. Particularly when I'm working with different mediums, so plastic with metal or polymer clay with metal, because it's looks a bit like a silicone glue, and so when it's cured, it always stays slightly rubbery and flexible, very, very strong, but slightly flexible. So when you've got things that with different expansion rates, so metal and plastics, they get hotter and expand at different rates. They won't come apart because the glue has some flexibility. Whereas the hypo cement is much more like a super glue.
Right.
It's closer to that in formulation, but the precision point is absolutely pinpoint precision.
It's like a needle, isn't it?
It is.
You can actually see it on the picture here.
And it has a lovely little needle inside the cap, which goes down the tube, so that prevents it from ever clogging up, which is usually what happens with these things.
Oh my goodness, that happens to me every time. You know, with that specific brand.
Yes.
Every time, then you end up cutting it, and you end up getting it everywhere.
It's no good then, is it?
Yeah.
But the other nice thing about those E6000 sizes is that if you use a lot of it, you'll find if you get a big tube, you often can't use the whole tube. You end up wasting it. But with the two smaller sizes, you'll use the whole lot of each one. It really is good, really useful thing. Oh, and a tip.
I've never even heard that before, by the way, and that's a really good point. That is a really good point.
A tip for keeping the cap clean on the E6000 is to just run a little bit of Vaseline or something like that, petroleum jelly sort of stuff, around the neck where the screw fitting is, so that when you put the lid on, it's not going to, if there's any residual glue, it's not going to stick shut and you won't be able to get it open, you know, using a teeth.
We've all done it, haven't we? I have as well. The other day I was saying on air, actually, funny enough, I was using some glue for something, I can't remember what it was, and it was that, we don't stock it here, but it was a particular type of glue which, you know, is very well known, and I had to use my teeth to open it up, and I was like, you know, that's not working, so I cut the tube, and then I got it all over my nails and all over my hands, and it's there for days.
Yeah.
There for days. You're like, gosh, why don't I just use these types?
Yes.
And it does cross over all the different materials, like your metals.
Yeah, the E6000, well, both of them work really well with different mediums. The E6000 is excellent for when you've got an uneven surface, so you've got maybe got something that's a little bit lumpy on the back. So with my last kit, if I have with the lace on the back of the polymer clay pieces, then I use something like E6000 to glue it onto the rest of the piece, because it fills in all those gaps.
Yeah, absolutely.
Whereas if you've got something really thin, it's not going to do the job.
With cabochons as well. You can use these to glue cabochons on to your precious metals, like the Saraphanite that we've got coming up, like the picture jasper that you saw earlier on. So don't be thinking that's just for wire workers. You can use this. And it is a jewellery, you know, professional jewellery glue. Amanda in East Port Talbot. Hello, Amanda. Know it very well. Hi all at JM. Love this channel. I've bought loads and made lots of top quality gemstones. I made lots of pieces, with top quality gemstones. Thank you so much, Amanda. In fact, yeah, it's a lovely message. That's what we love to hear, isn't it?
It is lovely. Elle, can I pinch one of those hypo cements, because I've left mine behind and I need it for the next demo? Thank you, Rob. Just coming to get it.
You absolutely can.
Thank you.
Not a problem whatsoever. Needed. There we go. We'll even show you how to use it. Look. Right, now it's time for, oh gosh, I did say it was cram-packed. We've got so much to bring you. Right now it's for what was one of the biggest and hottest sellers yesterday, and one of your most adored gemstones. It is an agate in its natural form from a wonderful location, which brings you those gorgeous, gorgeous, gentle hues that will go incredibly with your Saraphanite, go amazingly with your picture jasper. We are of course talking about the wonderful Botswana agate. So Botswana agate along with your blue lace agate. If you were to ask me what are the most expensive and the most sought after, I'd probably say those two. Reason for them, I think because they have got those a very gentle colour. They're not dyed generally. They are 9 times out of 10 actually natural. And very, very sought after because they have got a lovely palette, I suppose is the best way to put it. But earlier on we were talking about the picture jasper and how certain gemstones will actually show their graduation, their progression, I suppose, over the millions of years, which fascinating really, that they have of course formed. Now they might form in layers, they might form wonderful fan-like designs, they could be complete in one solid colour, and of course the lapidus goes on then to facet the gemstones to really enhance and encourage those formations to be the main feature. Well, the lapidus has certainly done that and done that well with this beautiful strand, but a Botswana agate is not just one colour, it comes in beige tones, soft, subtle greys. You get wonderful milky whites within, to chocolates, to caramels, to almost honey oranges. Every single one will be as unique as you and I. I mean, this one here I'm drawn to. Can you see those lovely, almost chevron-like patterns across the surface of the gemstone? Now, these are faceted rounds, so you'll get that surface luster in addition to the beauty of the formations, totally and utterly natural. And you can see almost the locality's beauty coming through, can't you? I often say that on air, how certain gemstones show the beauty of the location that they actually come from. And I think Botswana agate is a shining example of that. Now it's brand new, coming your way at an introductory deal. 6mm plain rounds, which again, yesterday I was only talking about the fact that it's a very wearable size, a very wearable gemstone size rather, for all pieces of jewellery. Straight down, introductory deal, $7.95. The first time is the best time to get involved. Not often do we get Botswana agate where it is actually faceted. It tends to be more, to be honest, actually in your plain rounds, even though they're very seldom opportunities. And they do tend to be very much more limited edition as well, and always sell out. I mean, I'm sure, Liz, Botswana agate, can you remember when we go back to the days where I was upstairs in the office and we used to put together the kits and everything like that? Botswana agate would be one of the most expensive gemstones that we sold here
absolutely.
at JM.
And I don't remember seeing too much that was faceted. That's the thing.
No.
Is mostly, as you say, rounds and things. So.
Mostly rounds or even chips and, chips and nuggets or something like that. Yeah, very seldom seen in the actual faceted form. So if you'd have asked me to guess the price, I would have certainly put this into the double figure bracket. Still an incredible deal here at Jewellery Maker because it's Jewellery Maker, you know, and I automatically think about that, but I would certainly put it in excess of £10. 90 carats, and it's totally and utterly natural. What I love about Botswana agate is you can literally create out of one strand like this, create 2 pieces of jewellery by maybe separating those palettes, and they look so vastly different, and yet it's all from the same gemstone.
Yeah. It's gorgeous, but I love the variation in the colour, actually, because I like having the natural look, if you like, the fact that there is the variation. They all are similar because they're the same sort of shape and size, but the colour changes throughout, and it's just lovely. It makes it more exciting. If everything is too matchy-matchy,
I agree.
It's a bit boring.
I agree. I totally agree. I always keep Botswana agate like so, very sporadic and everything. And I would just actually make these into simple stretchy bracelets.
They're really lovely. And from here, they almost look like they're coated because they are sparkling so much.
Yeah, it's an incredible surface luster. And again, will go amazingly with Liz's designer inspiration in the next hour because they've got that lovely sort of natural hue. Now, it is time. It is time for one of the most exciting launches, I think, of the entire week. And we're going to be bringing you some amazing launches for the rest of the week as well. But so new, the lovely Amelia literally gave it to me probably about half hour ago. It arrived within our studio. It was kind of, please can we make sure we get it, please can we try and launch it today, because we just simply can't wait, basically. Now, our buying team are amazing gem hunters who work all over the world, travel to different locations, and we have put a request in as well. Look, can we go and be there at the forefront? So, because you do gain a wealth of information when you do travel around. When we actually sort of go to these localities, hopefully we're going to be able to film it. Oh, is it not right? Okay, we can't bring you the Ethiopian opal as of yet. We just need it's the reason for that is because we haven't yet booked it in. But don't worry, it is coming up in 15 minutes. 15 minutes. Hang on a minute. Amelia? Are these that new that you've just put them there?
They are indeed, yes.
I did say there was loads getting in. I didn't even know these existed, and I didn't even know these were included in today's show. Rob likes to keep me on my toes, you know. Nice and varied, he said. Or keep your presenter on her toes. A bit of both. Now, that's natural. That's not actually an industry standard treatment. Sorry, Rob was just saying these have been waxed. It's not a treatment. That's actually assisting with the polishing of the gemstone. So, totally and utterly natural. Rose quartz. With the perfect tolerance, tone and saturation.
They're beautiful.
Aren't they?
Yes, yeah. They're very young, if you see what I mean. They make me think of teenage girls, not in their goth phase, but
you could turn these into maybe a little bit more rocky if you just put some black spinels or agates in there. You could,
yes, but I'm thinking sort of 1950s.
Yeah, Grace
60s.
Kelly.
Yes, that sort of.
Audrey Hepburn, your princessy Hollywood icons.
Definitely.
Have we gone straight in at $7.95?
Crikey.
No, wait. This is a no-brainer. We're not even stopping there, Liz.
Really?
10mm plain rounds.
Goodness.
Do you know who's going to a prom? Who's a bridesmaid? Who's going to a wedding? Who just loves embracing their feminine charms? I'm all about that. I think, you know what, ladies, we've got. I personally think, and it is only my personal opinion, we're really lucky in fashion. We get to mix it up quite a lot. Just the simplest outfit with these knotted. How classy and sophisticated.
It's like having pearls around your neck, but
it is.
Changing it up a bit. It's just really lovely.
And a lovely size.
Yes, they are beautiful.
And that perfect colour.
And you just need them in your stash because that's just such a lovely consistency of colour. And colour is the first thing you go for. So when you want that lovely soft pink, there it is.
Well,
and at that price.
I mean, this is a no-brainer. It doesn't need any introduction, really, does it? I mean, we can talk about all the designers that use rose quartz because it is one of the most recognisable pink gemstones out there. Often one of the fewest which is totally and utterly natural, like this. Lola Rose uses it a lot, Monica and Veneda uses it a lot, and we're talking about really recognisable designers, and it's the quality like this which we aspire to because of the baby pinks and that intensity. It's not white or wishy-washy or kind of sometimes a little bit murky or muddy looking, like compact ice maybe after a snowfall. It's definite baby blue, baby pink rather. Loads of you are multi-buying, and I'm joining you. Liz,
Yeah.
I can't pass up opportunities
No,
like
I know,
this.
it's fantastic. They say innocence to me. That's what they say. It's just gorgeous. They're really pretty colour.
I love that.
It's innocence, isn't it?
It is.
Encapsulated in the rose quartz.
It really, really is. Isn't it funny? Because certain gemstones always make me think of certain words. Like kunzite, I always say feminine. Zarite, I say exquisite. Morganite, I always say alluring. I like that.
Yeah.
Innocence.
That's
with
what it
your
says to
with
me.
your rose quartz.
Yeah.
That's beautiful, isn't? And that's a lovely word as well, isn't it?
Yes.
There is an innocence to them as well. Yeah, totally. I agree with you there. And beautiful, beautiful quality. At £5, that's amazing. Rob, have we got many of these? Because I've got no idea, by the way. They arrived literally seconds ago. How many? Oh, we had 87. There's about 15 remaining. Okay,
I'm not surprised.
I'm probably not going to get these,
No.
but I made up for you folks.
Yeah.
I just simply, because they're a 10mm plain rounds, you could, and quartz is a durable gemstone as well. Perfect for your bracelets, amazing for those, or even a charm bracelet with these would
or
be
as
lovely.
a ring as well. With a,
One as a ring, one just on a pair of earrings would be gorgeous.
With a chain.
Yeah.
And on the end.
Oh, those heart chains that we
Yes,
had earlier on
that'd
would
be
look
lovely.
fantastic. It is going to sell out, so please don't leave it in those baskets. There are probably, how many left? 4. Probably none now.
Yes.
Stay where you are on those phone lines. Wow.
That's very
Wow, 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 wow. Sorry. Oh, hang on a minute. I'm bringing that back. It has sold out. Oh, this is the Pantone collection part 2, Rob
Oh,
says.
wow. The colours are gorgeous. That is such a nice blue.
Isn't it a lovely?
Yes.
It looks like chalcedony to me. It's quartz, but it looks like a perfect chalcedony blue, doesn't it?
It's really lovely.
I'm going to have to take that out because it has sold out.
Yeah.
But you're not just getting the one. Bear with me a second. You're also getting all of these. Okay, who makes jewellery for expecting mothers or somebody who's just had a little boy or somebody or children as well? I think they're great for those. Because I think that'd be a lovely idea.
Lovely idea. Do you know, my husband, with having when I had both my kids, he bought me a special piece of jewellery for on the birth of each one, which is really nice. So to be able to make something for the birth of a grandson or whatever would be really lovely.
Tom, if you're watching, did you just hear what Liz said? I can't say that. He has just bought me a really nice piece of jewellery, bless him. Bless him. But bear that in mind when our little one arrives. But yes, Pantone Colour Part 2, which is, of course, the baby pinks and the baby blues. And it's the first time ever, 2016, where we've had both colours.
Yeah.
So I love that. It could be that significant piece of jewellery.
It's a lovely gift to give, isn't it? You know, perhaps to your daughter or your daughter-in-law or
it's
something.
always going to have meaning as well, isn't it? Absolutely beautiful.
Yes.
So you had the rose earlier on. Now we're bringing you 2 different shades, which I love, sort of a neon colour and the more baby blue here. Should be incredibly £12.80. Wow, 4 strands that you've got here, going down to a single figure price tag. Wait, for less than £15, if you got that rose quartz, you've just acquired all of this. How beautiful.
If you've got twins, I could see a boy and a girl, you can put them together. Wouldn't that be lovely? They're just gorgeous.
Aren't they?
Yeah.
Aren't they gorgeous? So lovely. I love that colour combination next to one another.
Again, it's stash fillers because you need those colours in your stash.
You do, don't you? You really do. And some people might be thinking, gosh, that's a lot of blue. When you single out gemstones, they then soften. I mean, I wouldn't hesitate in actually using the blues against the pearls that we have here at Jewellery Maker.
And the larger ones would work very well with the lapis nuggets that we had earlier on.
Yes, absolutely. Again, I held that pink quartz, the rose quartz up to the neckline. I think I should do the same with this one, don't you? Just because the quality is there and that wonderful intensity of colour that you get here. And of course, the same gemstone, it is a quartz. So quartz is a mineral, is a gem rather, and its crystal structure is quite rough. And what I mean by that is how the crystals actually form. So it holds on to beautiful colour like this, incredibly. These are sort of semi-translucent also, so you'll get a lot of light going through them, so they'd be perfect in the ear. Again, I'm thinking about stretchy bracelets. I think they'd be amazing for that. Such a classy bundle. Love it, Rob. I think Rob's got an eye.
I think he has too, actually. That's
He
a really,
really
really lovely
has.
collections.
Isn't it?
Yeah.
He says you're all very, very sweet.
It's only because we
Right,
want you to
can you do your
pose.
pose now?
Yeah. Can we have some private posing then?
Private posing, Rob? Oh, Liz, that sounds a little bit saucy.
Oh,
that.
it does actually, doesn't it? I didn't mean it that way.
Sounds a little bit saucy. Amazing. Yes, I love that. It's all strictly professional here at Jewellery Maker, as you can see. Now, you've got 200 open jump rings here. Again, great for your chainmail, for those of you that love chainmail working. So they are open jump rings, so that we've done the sort of work for you there. 7mm. So I think Fleur was saying the average for a Byzantine bracelet is about 140 jump rings.
Right.
So you've easily got a bracelet there.
Yes.
And that's all made up of these beautiful, beautiful individual jump rings. Now, again, if you don't do chainmail, and we have got DVDs available for you, these are also essentials for jewellery making.
I'm always running out, to be honest. I have to keep asking for some more to make up my kits, really.
And that's like running out of milk and bread, isn't it?
It is, yeah, and they are a really good quality of jump ring. So sometimes when you buy the cheapo versions, where they join together, they've been cut rather than sawn, and those are sawn beautifully, and so the edges, they really meet up.
Really join
really
together.
well.
I'll be completely honest. I've bought pieces of jewellery in the past where they have obviously been sawn rather than cut, the jump rings, and then they break, they fall apart, whatever
The
is
ones
the
that are cut,
beading
because
wire.
when they cut, they end up with an angled edge.
Yeah, distort, don't they?
Yes,
Ever so slightly.
yeah.
So then the beading thread or whatever it is sort of
Pops
slips out.
Yeah.
So the precision of the jump rings, the quality of the jump rings really does make a difference. $6.95. Also, if you ask any of our jewellery makers family, I'm sure they'll all tell you the quality of our findings are
It's really
without
excellent.
shadow of a doubt.
I have to say they're really good.
Yeah.
You're hard pushed to find anything else like that quality elsewhere.
Especially at this kind of deal, this kind of price point. So Tracy's stocking up. Well done, Tracy in Pembrokeshire. Maureen, Lindsay, Belinda, Sheila and Martin. Dee, hello to you, June and Jacqueline and Anne-Marie and Daisy and Pauline and Lynn. Again, if you're not restricted to how many you buy. Again, I don't bring jump rings every single day on the show, unfortunately, and they always sell out. And like I said, our own guest designers run out, so they do understand. And the problem is that our supplies sometimes don't meet at the demand of our findings, because we're a global family now, aren't we? We have got a big quantity of these though, like I said, so if you want to come in and buy 10, you fill your boots.
Yeah.
You fill your boots. And I know that last time Fleur was on, and if you're wondering who Fleur is one of our guest designers, and she is chainmail is her talent and forte. Very, very historical medium. And Fleur will tell you, I think last time she bought jump rings when she was on there with me, she's like, I bought 1,600.
Yes.
But she can use that in one day.
Yes, absolutely. If you do chainmail, you need quantity, serious
You do need quantity.
Yes.
Yeah. So I'm guessing I've also got quite a few chain mailers working on the phone lines. Anne, Norma, Arlene, Cheryl, Sheila, Merlene, hello to you. What a lovely name. Marion, hello to you. We've got Muriel there, Felicity with me. We've got some beautiful names shopping with us today. Some wonderful names. Hello to you, Jacqueline and Kent. Do check out them as soon as you can. Whilst there's quantity, they always fly. Moving on. I've got to do some scooping.
I'm impressed you're not flinging them all over the place. That's very neat and tidy of you.
I do try and stay tidy for our Amelia, because that's all right. That's all right. Moving on to crimp covers. Now, they look like little Pac-Man, you know, little like a cake. which has had a slice taken out of it.
A donut with a slice taken out almost.
A donut with a slice taken out. That's a good description of
donut.
it. It's with a bite. Someone's bitten out of it. They look like that, but these are actually what takes your jewellery from beautiful to incredibly professional. Because they cover the mechanisms, the crimps basically.
Yes, crimps and knots and things like that.
And knots, absolutely. Or alternatively, they can be used as spacers. Now, they are lovely rose gold, and the rose gold plated over your copper, 5x3 millimeters. I haven't got the correct tools here, but very, very, very easy to actually to close. You can get your crimping tools, can't you? Or your crimp cover tools.
There's one there.
Have you got one there?
Yeah, shall I pass it to you?
Amazing. So you simply grab one of your crimps, and you'll be able to tell that I'm not a very good jewellery maker here. You position it like so, over the knot or over the crimp itself, and then just squeeze it together. Hang on a minute, I'm doing it the wrong hand as well. This is the wrong way. Squeeze it together like this, and they join perfectly together so that it is hiding all of the mechanisms underneath. Should be £8.95 for 200 of them. For 200, £5.95. If you miss it, you're going to miss out. Have we got quantity of these though? 168. That's not huge. Not when we're talking about your findings. And by the way, we have hopefully got more findings coming your way throughout the course. However, I don't think there's any crimps in that opportunity or crimp covers like this. So get them as soon as you can. When it comes to your rose gold is bang on trend at the moment, and it's got a tiny amount of copper. It added to the actual gold itself, which gives that lovely pinkish blush. Works wonderfully with your pink gemstones in particular.
It does, yeah. Think of that lovely rose quartz.
Yeah, great minds think alike. If you knotted it and then had these over the knots or something like that.
Yes, that'd be gorgeous. Yes, knot in between each bead and then put those over the top. That would be lovely.
Because they are, again, they're such quality. Those crimps do really join together, don't they?
They're really quite firm. They're not flimsy, because sometimes you get them and they're so flimsy when you squeeze them, they sort of mush.
Yeah.
You know, just squish up together and not very good.
You don't want them mushing. You want them, to actually to hold their shape, don't you? But at the same time, you also want those to, I guess, imagine it like a mouth, I suppose. You want them to close all the way shut. Okay, moving on, because is it time? Oh, okay, wow, thank goodness. Now we're able to, the call centre, our website, everybody is all geared up for this opportunity. It's a big star buy. It is Ethiopian Opal time, and if I know here at Jewellery Maker we've been bringing it to you for quite a length of time. However, you know, I always think that if we look back on today, when the news breaks that this gemstone from this locality is no longer being unearthed, when it is all but gone. Currently, there is a tiny location just to the west of what was the main seam, which is unearthing Ethiopian opal, but it is very, 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 very limited, and it's nowhere near on the same scale of what the main seam was. So the reality is that we might have to come to terms with the fact that Ethiopian opal is going to deplete before many other gemstones like your tanzanite. Staggering, really, because we never saw that one on the horizon. However, if you've been shopping with us here at Jewellery Maker, you may well already be enjoying this gemstone. But think about it when we look back on today. Are we going to look back and think, thank goodness that I got involved when I did, thank goodness I got that incredibly high quality Ethiopian opal at the prices that they were able to offer? Or are we going to have to think about it as a gemstone which is an absolute investment? Well, it is an investment, but it's just what price point we choose to pay. Okay, again, I know many of you are very knowledgeable about your gemstones, and I know some of you have seen pictures of the main seam in Ethiopian opal. I know, in Ethiopia, of the main mine itself, and it's quite staggering because it's not what we'd imagine a gemstone mine to actually be. Most people, if I say, sort of ask that question, how do you imagine gemstone mining? Some would say actually sort of within riverbeds, which yes, a lot of sort of rubies and sapphires are actually mined like so, sort of sifted diluted through water, a bit similar to how they used to actually mine gold back in the day. And some people actually say, oh, well, drilling through shafts, you know, through big tunnels. Well, yeah, certain types of gemstones do that. Amber does that. Tanzanite most definitely does that as well. But certain gemstones like opal is quite unique. And Ethiopian opal is probably one of the only mines that I can think of which actually is an entire landscape, really. Picture sort of the Grand Canyon or something like that. Maybe not quite to that scale, but it's that kind of image where you have got this vast crevice within the actual Earth's crust that is vertical cliffs, basically. Almost, can we see that picture? Actually, yeah, they're vertical cliffs. So this is actually the Ethiopian mine that once was. Now, incredibly, you're thinking, well, how on earth do they mine this? Is it at the bottom, at the foot? Maybe, I don't know. If you're looking right now, can you see a few individuals at the foot of the cliff? No, actually, cast your eyes upwards. Upwards more to the point of the actual cliff edge, and you'll see that first line. Can you see that? That actual rivet, the first line across the actual cliff front. Now, if we zone in onto that one area, you will see small gatherings, there it is, small gatherings of miners who are sourcing this very gemstone. Now, firstly, it was very dangerous. A lot of money was invested into keeping all of the miners safe. However, now it's no longer in production. No longer in production. It is all but depleted. Thank goodness there was a very small location just to the west, and if you've heard this expression before, west is best, which is unearthing Ethiopian opal currently, but it is extremely limited, extremely scarce, producing what we call a hydrophane performance as a silica gemstone. It's got wonderful movement, and you can almost see that movement, and it's quality like this which is really exciting the trade. So, dare I say it, we might see Ethiopian opal deplete in, I don't know, could be a couple of years, could be 3 years, could be less than that even. And aren't we going to be grateful that we saw and got, hopefully, opportunities like this when it was at potentially an affordable price tag? Because I can't read into the future, but it's fairly logical when you see quality like this to imagine that it is going to dramatically skyrocket. Once upon a time, Ethiopian opal was kind of like in the shadows of Australian opal. Those days are most definitely gone. It has certainly matched the price of your Kuba PD opal, your Australian opal. In many cases, I think it could potentially even surpass it just based on the rarity alone. This is a 41 centimetre strand, and you've got a beautiful graduation of 2 to 5 millimetre plain rounds. Now again, here in the studios you're not actually seeing as much performance of colour that we actually see in person. When you get this home, hold it up to natural daylight, take it into sort of candlelight environment, any light source, and you'll really see that wonderful hydrophane performance. Very distinctive. I'm going to guess it is from the Western mine. Should be $59.95. Sorry, the tone of my voice changed because I thought this was at best where we were closing. Okay. You know what? There's going to come a day when we all say, thank goodness. What's today's date? 18th?
18th, yes.
18th of February? Thank goodness for the 18th of February 2016 when I actually tuned into Jewellery Maker. I got hold of that strand when I did. Listen, it might sound a little bit of an exaggeration to me. I've done it. I've experienced those kind of things in the past. Thank goodness I bought this when I did. But my morganite, for example, I purchased, and yeah, I had staff cost. I bought for it was in double figures. It was valued, and I've had it valued twice. I'll tell you, over £2,000. I'm not saying that that's what this is actually going to be valued at, but the gemstones do change. They more than likely will be going up when we see the rarity and the quality like this. I mean, can you see those tiny silica spheres moving around? That's that hydrophane performance that we were referring to. This is a little over £1 per carat for natural Ethiopian opal. Now, the top colours of the spectrum, the reds, the oranges, the yellows and the blues, are some of the rarest colours to acquire within your opal in particular. So if you see those, then you've got something exceedingly exciting. 0800 644 655 is the number to call. Look at that.
It's like seeing the aurora borealis in each little stone, in each little bead. It's beautiful.
It is beautiful,
Really,
isn't
really
it?
lovely.
And I'm not... Now I'm going to say it, I've got the Ethiopian opal's my favourite. I prefer Ethiopian opal to Australian opal. Just because Australian opal has got, I love it, don't get me wrong, but it's white and it's more of a milky body colour, and then you have your play of colour across the surface. Ethiopian opal's got more of a translucency, a semi-translucency, so you see the play of colour not just across the surface, but throughout the depth of the gemstone as well. So if you can imagine it, going back to what you were saying with the picture jasper, where you actually have to consider as a lapidus, I don't want to cut away the play of colour, and I don't want to leave it so you can't see the amount of play of colour. With Ethiopian opal, it might be, and I don't know, I'm no lapidus, but a little bit easier because you've got that semi-translucency, so you can see not just across that surface, but into the very, very heart as well. I mean, the most incredible flash of red can come through from the very core of the gemstone itself.
Yes, it shifts as you move.
It does shift.
Really, and when you were talking about candlelight, I'm thinking that would be the perfect way of really showing it off, because it would just change every time you turned with it.
It really would. Yeah. And by the way, we are considerably lower than what our target price should be. I was referring to, really, our target price was $59.95. That's incredible. I mean, this is a length that you could easily just restrand like
yes,
so.
You could.
And can I just say, for the gold that you've got coming up, I'd be putting the gold with this.
Yes. Oh, yes. But it would be lovely with silver too.
Oh, absolutely. It's all personal preference.
But the warm colours that you're seeing flashing out of there, I think it would just
amazing.
Yeah.
I'm just saying gold because of the quality, basically. But yeah, any of your precious metal, it's just personal preference. I was referring to once back last summer when Tom and I were in Stratford-upon-Avon, which is a very affluent area. If you've ever gone there, it's a beautiful location. And I saw one lady who was effortlessly dressed. She was so she obviously had a bit of money, shall we say. It was quite clear that she had a bit of money. She had a nice sort of Italian handbag, and she was wearing an Ethiopian opal, and I noticed it from probably about 10 metres away. Just incredible in sort of summer sunlight. Check out as soon as you can. Well done. Wait till you get that home. $39.95 only. More to bring you, including this amazing kit that has been teasing me throughout the course of the hour. Wonderful designer inspiration with the wonderful, the incredible, yours truly, Liz Welch. So don't go anywhere.
A lot of people get confused about the difference between white gold, yellow gold and rose gold. In fact, many people actually think it comes out the ground 3 different colours. The reality is all gold when it comes out the ground is yellow. It's that bright, vibrant colour that we're used to seeing as gold. So how do we get white gold and how do we get rose gold? Well, all gold that we buy, whether it be 9K, 14K, 18K, is all an alloy of different metals and the gold. So to turn it rose gold, in with the gold we blend copper. That gives us that lovely warm rose gold colour. And then to turn from yellow gold all the way to white gold, and that's why we always say white gold's the most expensive, is we have to alloy it with other expensive metals like silver, palladium and platinum to convert yellow all the way to white. And the higher the purity, so start at 9K, 14K, 18K, the higher the purity, like 18K, the harder it is to get that beautiful white colour.
Owning a strand of genuine gemstones is always exciting, but being able to use it in your handcrafted jewellery, then passing it on to its new owner with proof of its authenticity is even more incredible. Why not add one of our printed authenticity cards to your order and share that same feeling with your customers? You can also access online authenticity certificates for items you have previously ordered by looking at your order history on your account details. The certificate gives you valuable information about your purchase and is your guarantee of quality and peace of mind from Jewellery Maker. You can now book Jewellery Maker workshops online. Just head over to our Jewellery Maker website and click on the workshop link. We have a wide range of workshops from beginner to intermediate, covering a variety of mediums. Once you have found a workshop you'd like to attend, simply click on the Book Now button. Fill in the required fields and then press Continue. This will take you through to the payment page. If you have any questions, you can contact our workshop coordinator Wendy at any time by emailing workshop@jewellerymaker.com. We look forward to seeing you. There are 4 easy ways to stay in touch with Jewellery Maker. You can like our Facebook page and join a community of over 54,000 people. You can follow us on Twitter and tweet us your messages and opinions, send photos of your designs and enter our Wall of Fame competition. Or if you need any help or advice, you can email our friendly help team. Make sure to get involved and stay up to date with Jewellery Maker.
Welcome back, everyone. Nice to have your company this morning. What a show so far. We're joined by the wonderful Liz. Liz, what a ray of sunshine that you are, and amazing pieces of jewellery. I've just spotted those earrings at the front.
It's been fun doing this.
Yeah, it's one of my favourite kits that we've got, and I think you're going to love it too. But before we get into that, and we are going to go straight into the kit as well, I just give a heads up for those of you that have just tuned in. At 11:30, we are launching this beautiful Saraphanite. I've got 4. You might, Saraphanite. You might get 6. You might get 3. It's the carat weight that we do guarantee. But you will have that wonderful consistency of quality here. Now, it's 100 carats, and this is a natural gemstone, which has got really strong connections with sort of angelic beliefs. It's considered to be a very protective gemstone, all very, very positive, and always makes me a little bit emotional, to be honest, just because you can see those sort of visualities within. I'm going to hold a couple of these up for you, because if you've seen Saraphanite previously and it's more, one solid colour, this is actually what you want. You want to have those silvery, almost chatoyant effects.
It's like, when you get the frost on your window.
Yes.
It's just when it spreads across,
yeah,
it's like that.
Absolutely. It really is. And often referred to as the sort of guardian angel's wings themselves.
Is that where the name comes from?
Yes.
Yes.
Seraphim. Yeah, absolutely. That's where the connection. And we'll be talking a bit some more about that, funnily enough, during the actual star by 11:30 to get these absolutely beautiful quality. And I'm going to say it again, I think the best that we've brought you here at Jewellery Maker. I truly do think so. We've also got a brand new strand of Labradorite coming up. Oh, this with the Saraphanite would be amazing. Coming up at the top of this hour, so not long to wait. Again, a phenomenal gemstone, so it's mica that's present within this gemstone, which traps the light and gives you this incredible play of light in amazing quality. Guaranteed, incredibly under £20. Don't often see faceted Labradorite.
And again, there is so much colour in that from across the studio. There really is. It's a beautiful strand.
Incredible quality here. The real intensities of those blues and greens and yellows and pinks coming up at the top of the hour. Now, should we get cracking with today's kit? Rob, how many have we got? 97. Oh, here we go. Mochaccino medley. I love it, I love it, I love it. I can actually see where this is going to as well. I'm not going to tell you just yet because there's so much. I mean, we've launched wood recently here at Jewellery Maker. You've absolutely loved it. We've been bringing you lovely Zari threads coming through. We also launched not so long ago some of our cappuccino agates, which have got a really kind of, I always say safari sort of beauty to them. They're cabochons in my eyes as well. But this, I've never seen them all together in one kit like this. Now I'm going to start with your Zari threads. This is antique, brass, bronze, and also a grey, which actually is more like a titanium colour.
Yeah, or gunmetal. That's how I think of it, is a gunmetal colour.
Like a gunmetal grey, yeah, absolutely. Or a Tahitian colour. It'd be amazing with Tahitian pearls.
Oh, it would, yes.
Or black pearls.
Yeah.
It'd be amazing with that too.
Yes.
These are my favourite colours, actually, that
I
I've
really
seen.
like these colours.
I think they look amazing, and that neckline piece, which I can't wait to show everybody, it looks like fabric, but it's all made out of your Zari
Yes,
thread.
it is.
So I can't wait to show you that. It has been made from these 3 colours, and that's it. No other gemstones added in. 125 metres on each of those spools. So loving this colour as well. I've never seen these before.
They're really, really lovely. I like the fact that one is slightly matte.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. This is more of a matte.
Yes. Again, it's the contrast element that I really love.
Incredible. And again, the sort of Tahitian gunmetal grey looks incredible alongside it. Gosh, where do we start with all of this? I'm going to start with the chain. I'm going to start with this lovely chain. It's aluminium, and every single one of those links has kind of got a polished detail on one of the curves, which brings through that lovely flash of silver. So it is two-tone, basically. There's a meter here in that antique colour, and it's a substantial chain, but whilst it's aluminium, it's also very wearable and lightweight. Can you see that glint? It's like they're faceted with diamonds, aren't they?
It is, it's really lovely. And it's very easy to use, actually, because the links are large enough to suspend things from very easily.
Absolutely. You could easily turn this into a charm bracelet, couldn't you?
Yes.
And sort of hook on any of your charms through the actual link itself. There's a metre in total, 5.8 to 8.5 millimetre each and every single one of those links, and it is like a flat curb chain, what we call a curb chain.
Yes.
So they sort of nestle into one another beautifully, and I love that attention to detail. It's just the tiniest amount of polish.
It's really lovely, and they are all separate links, if you see what I mean. Sometimes the links are fused and it's more difficult to work with them to get, because you've got to cut them all to open them up, whereas those you just open like a jump ring.
They look like they're sawn cut as well, don't they? Because they're really precision. You can't actually see the join, really, can you?
No.
Okay, moving on, because there's loads more to bring you. Where do we start? Shall I start with your puffy rectangles? I think these are cabochons. They look like cabochons to me, but they are drilled through the centre. There's 430 carats here of your beautiful agate, cappuccino agates. So some will have more of a licorice colour, some will be more of a latte colour. You're guaranteed 8. So 8 of these, every single one will be totally different. I was referring to them as saying you've got kind of like a zebra pattern. Not zebra, what am I talking about? Giraffe pattern.
You're having that one, yes.
This one here.
Yeah.
In particular. I love it. I absolutely love it. Monochrome as well. Some can be quite caramel colours. And in terms of their sizes, these are 40 by 20 millimetres, guaranteed 8. I'm going to move on to... Should we bring the ovals? These are mahoosive. But at the same time, very wearable. They're a comfortable size. You're guaranteed 8. 40 by 30 millimetres. Are these the biggest that we've got in our cappuccino agates? I've not seen any bigger ones.
I've not seen any bigger. I love them. I thought they were really gorgeous. As you say, cabochon size, all of these are.
Yeah, amazing, aren't they? And you've turned 2 of them into a pair of earrings, which I love. I've really got my eyes on those. Incredible. And just knotted in between with some, well, you could use the Zari thread that's included within these beautiful, within the beautiful kit. Still nowhere near done. I've still got 3 strands to bring you. Still got 3 strands. I'm going to run out of hand space, aren't I? You're right. Yeah, my hands aren't big enough. Okay, where should we go next? No, I'm saving them for last. Okay, should we move on to the wood? Look at these. The shell wheels.
Are they cocoa shell? They're lovely.
Well, I said wood because they do look a little bit, but they're the lovely shell. They're gorgeous, aren't they?
I love the fact that they're on sometimes on the reverse side, they're a pale colour
Yeah.
as well. So you've just got, it's like having 2 beads in one, really. Or even 3 beads, because you can have them sideways on, you can have them flat with the dark side up, or with the lighter side up.
Absolutely, and I'm trying to sort of bend it, but they're packed on this strand. But the drill holes I can see are really substantial in these, Liz, as well, aren't they?
It's really nice to work with the Zari threads with them because they go through really easily.
They go through nicely, and I'm thinking gents jewellery. They'd be fab for gents jewellery as well.
And they're very quick to put together.
Yeah, I bet, and really build quickly because they are so. Well, you've got such a diameter to them as well. These are 15 by 4 millimeters. Still not done because I've still got more to bring you. And again, work wonderfully with everything that you've seen so far. Shall I move on to the Bury beads?
So tell me what Bury beads are.
Now, well, do you know, I'm really glad that you asked me that because I've never seen them before.
No, me neither.
I've never ever seen Bury beads before. They're obviously a genuine gemstone because you can actually see that they are organic. That you can see that they're an organic gemstone. It's a wood, I believe, a type of wood. Yeah. A type of wood,
really?
But I don't know what, and I did try and research it. I don't know what type of tree it comes from or anything like that. Somebody's from our product team, we're going to message down and say it's a Bury tree or something. I don't know. I tried to research it, but you can see it's an organic, genuine gemstone, but it's actually a type of wood. And it comes in 2 tones, so you can actually see almost like saucers, like a darker colour, and more of a tan colour, and then white actually on the back, or more of a creamy. They're beautiful, aren't they? I've never seen anything like it.
No, I've not either. I thought they were shell of some sort, maybe. I don't know.
No, they are definitely a wood, a type of wood.
Crikey.
Amazing, isn't it?
Yeah.
Because it's a consistency which is unusual.
Yes, and the fact that you've got that creamy white with a dark top.
Yeah.
I just don't understand them. I didn't know what they were when I saw them.
They had me scratching my head, but, and yeah, they're a type of wood basically. But cool to get something different, absolutely. And I like the fact that it makes us think. I like that. I do like that. Really appealing. I'm still not done.
They're gorgeous.
Plain rondelles, these are beautiful. And it's just a kit made in heaven. I love this. I absolutely love it. All the colours of your Zari thread. They are your wonderful cultured pearls, which are 9 by 7 millimetre. A rondelle will nestle. In terms of their shape, they nestle against one another so exquisitely, which goes just perfectly with your Bury beads and also your brown cocoa shell here. And again, along with your agates as well, stunning. What I love about this is you can take this kit into complete polar opposite designs, couldn't you?
Yes, you can. You could be very sort of earthy with it.
Yes.
Or you can be really very high-end and classy.
Absolutely.
Just completely different.
Really traditional if you wanted to. A third of the kit, by the way, is already checked out. And by the way, what you can see on the web is not actually a price. We're actually going lower. This is what you can see, £41.65. Is a huge saving coming your way. Oh, wow. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 if you include the chain. 5 strands plus your Zaris, £27.95.
Crikey.
I'd pay that for the pearls.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, it's just, there were so many things you could do with it. And the Zari thread goes on and on and on. So, you can make so many different things.
Do you know what, Liz? My favourite piece that you have made is the one without the genuine gemstones, in actual fact, which is incredible. I just think I've never seen anything like it. It looks like an amazing... The one on the very end, the one without any genuine gemstones. I've never seen anything like that before, Liz.
Well, now that we can do different things, I thought I'd bring a bit of free machine embroidery into the whole jewellery making sphere.
That's awesome.
So
I'd wear that as a hat as well. I think that could be a really cool hat.
Yeah. Well, I'll explain how I did it, and maybe in the future I'll be able to bring my sewing machine and actually show you.
Yes, I really hope so. I really do. I mean, look, from the earthy tones, you've gone sort of more earthy, more sort of tribal, I suppose.
Yes.
But you could just restrand that pearl necklace.
Oh, easily. Yes.
Well, any of them, really.
Yeah.
and keep it to something very simple and elegant, maybe alternating a few. Gosh, hugely popular kit. Knew it was going to be. Already half the stock has gone, and I have got people multi-buying. Yvonne, Mary, hello to you. Another Mary, Christine, Sally, Dawn, Norfolk, Michelle, hello to you, Zari. Hello to you, Juanita, Maureen, Anne, and Sean, and Glynis, and Zena, and Margaret, and Christina. And oh gosh, I mean, there's tons of you there. Absolutely incredible. Now, I'm being confirmed. Is it from where? The Philippines. Buri beads are from a palm tree in the Philippines.
Really?
How did you find that out then?
How are they made? I just don't understand the
How
two
couldn't
colours.
I find that then? Because I couldn't even find it on the web. Oh, you had them with Prue. I couldn't even find it on the web. Buri beads from palm trees in the Philippines.
So I still don't get the creamy colour. I can get the wooden colour, but not the creamy colour. I've never seen a wood that's like that. Wow.
They're ace, aren't they?
Yeah, they're really good.
I'm wondering, does the Buri palm tree then, I don't know if such a thing exists, if that's actually what it's called, does it actually have that two-tone effect?
I've never been to the Philippines, so I don't know.
I would love to. I'll tell you what, I'll put a request in with the management team. I need to be sent to the to the Philippines to find out for you.
And I'll carry your luggage.
And Liz, we'll go out and find out, you know, take one for the team.
Yes, definitely.
Is it in two tones? Rob is saying, when you see it, it'll make sense to you.
Right, okay.
Okay. Have you got pictures then? How have you got pictures? I couldn't find any pictures. Gosh, very popular. And we're talking about the Buri beads, but there's so much more, isn't it? I mean,
yes.
We launched our cappuccino agate not so long ago, didn't we? And these are, the ovals in particular are the biggest. I mean, they are double-sided. That's almost like a snake print, this one here.
They're all really different, actually. They're gorgeous. You can find two that are similar enough to make a pair of earrings, but I think you embrace all the differences because they're just gorgeous.
Yeah, that one's kind of got, like, it reminds me of kind of like a, is it a python or?
Yeah.
A boa constrictor.
Yes, they're very, to me it said African, sort of safari, really. Yeah. It was what it was.
Yeah, I'd agree with you there, because I was talking, I think, last time about the fact that you've got almost a combination of animals and landscapes in our cappuccino agate. Do you know, I actually think it should be called safari agate or something like that, to be honest, because you've got such a tribal
feel to it. I agree. Yeah. And when I was making my pieces of jewellery, the safari theme was in my mind, and I was thinking of the different people who go on safari, you know, from the hippie backpacker through to somebody who's really very elegant and has got the right outfit completely, to somebody who just goes there to party in the evening and just look at the waterhole and drink gin and tonics.
I'd love to say I'd be brave enough to do that, but I don't think I would. I'm really frightened of sort of bugs and insects. Not so much the animals, but the bugs and insects and creepy crawlies I'm quite frightened of. My mum does. My mum, she's got no fear. She used to, sort of back, I think probably about 5 years ago, their last trip, she used to just go off on her own. She said it was my holiday from you lot. She used to just go off on her own. I'd be like, wow.
Yes.
I'd love to be that brave.
Did she join a group or anything?
Not really, no. I think a safari they did, because obviously safety and numbers and everything like that. Now, hugely popular. I think that kit's going to sell out. I think it's going to sell out very, very quickly as well. 80 have already gone, and we had 97.
Oh, wow.
So it's only a matter of time. Liz. Look, I'm not going to go to the one that I keep talking about because we've already shown that. I'll come back to it. But this
that one isn't my one. That one is for...
sorry, moving here. It's because it's similar colours. Oh, yes. Look. So this is a Zari, and initially I thought it was wire.
No, it's the Zari thread. It's really, really adaptable.
Isn't that amazing? Different types of wire wrapping.
Yes. I used head pins actually for one of them with the squares on. It's got head pins. I just used the head pins.
Oh, with the decorative head pins.
Yes.
Beautiful.
And then the spacer beads that you get in the findings packs, I use those as well.
So the one next to it, then you've actually combined the wheels with the actual wood as well,
just
and the pearls.
The pearls, and all that is the pearls have to go on the beading thread because you can't get the Zari thread through them. But the cocoa shell rounds are just tied on. You just take a length of the Zari thread and just tie them on, knot them, and move on to the next one. So there's, I can't remember, 4 or 5 strands or something like that, and a strand of the pearls.
Quite
twist them
rustic
together.
and loose and tactile, which we keep mentioning here. Can I go to the front of these earrings?
Yeah, yes.
Because they're amazing. And you've just literally haloed it, I suppose, with the actual chain.
I'll show you how to do that because it's really straightforward. It's just, that's really simple.
So effective.
Yes.
Fabulous. Moving on then, we're going back to your Zari thread and again some of your jewellery beads.
Yes, I wrapped some wire. You could use the memory wire if you wanted to wrap with, to wrap around, and then I use the Zari thread to wrap. It's like doing buttonhole stitch, but it's without a needle.
Okay.
It's just a half hitches all the way around, and then I just wired on the beads.
Incredible. Again, you've done a 360 piece with the ovals.
Yep.
Loving this bracelet.
Now, I'm sure that Laura and all the other fantastic wire workers would do a better job than I did on that, but just to show you that I just thought it was perfect for bracelet, actually. It was really,
I think you're doing yourself a bit of injustice there, Liz. I think that's lovely. Really lovely. Again, look at the jewellery beads haloing those ovals. Absolutely incredible. So then that's a statement piece of jewellery.
It is, yes.
But I usually 9 times out of 10 go for the pieces of jewellery which are always genuine gemstones.
Yeah.
This is incredible. And a prime demonstration. Can I turn it round as well, just so I can show everybody that as well? Isn't that amazing?
It's really, really simple. You do not have to be an expert in free machining to do that at all. It's actually it would be a beginner's project, that would be, really would.
Good, because I want to make one. I want to make one. I'm going to wander over to you, Liz.
Okay.
So what is it that you're going to be demonstrating?
I'm going to show you a number of little different things. I'm not going to show you how to wire up the beads. You can do that brilliantly, but I'm going to show you some simple things from the different projects.
Fabulous.
So this first one is to put the chain around your
for the earrings.
Agates. Yes, for the earrings. So you need to measure your chain. It's easiest, best if you can get it laying flat first, and you need to wrap that around. Ooh, I'm going to be all fingers and thumbs for this.
That's okay, because you're just basically measuring it now.
I am, and okay, I'm going to flatten it out again because you don't want it to be twisted.
No.
So
and it being a curb chain, it does have a definite direction, doesn't it?
And you've got to try and hold that flat. This is the fiddliest bit, is actually just working out how much you need. So it's got to go all the way around, and then can you see there? That would be the link where my finger is there. That would be the link I would take out, because then I need to join the two together. So I'm going to hold on to that one, and I'm going to take my pliers. So you always use my chain nose pliers.
Yes, you were referring to this earlier on.
Yep. And I can just open that out.
It would be very difficult to open because the quality of the link itself, the chain itself, it'd be difficult to open without two sets of pliers.
Yes, it is. Unless you got sort of really, really thick nails, and mine are not. Mine are.
Yeah, we had a plier deal, by the way, in the first hour this morning.
A fantastic deal.
Yeah, yeah. That was an understatement. We'll put it at the bottom of the screen for you as well.
So okay, I'm going to just check again that actually I think that's going to work. So now I need to join this together.
Okay. So joining both ends of your chains?
Yes. So I'm going to take one end again. You want to make sure that you've got it in the right plane, if you like, so that you're not twisting. So I'm going to pick that up. Ooh. Okay, you're not behaving this morning, chain.
Live television, Liz.
Yes, so I've just got to work out which way that goes. So that one goes over.
Oh, of course, because a chain like this, a curb chain, will actually, like I said, lay and nestle into one another, the links. You'll see if you haven't put it in the right direction.
I'm just looking at that. Nope, I'm going the wrong way. I can just see
There we go, see?
You just
Liz knew.
You just got to follow what the link next to it is and just get that right. If you get it wrong, you just undo it and do it again.
No biggie.
So join that together. So now it should actually fit, it should lie flat around here. So I'm going to just make sure that does, which is great. There may be, these actually are slightly different in size, just fractionally. Yeah. So you just need to choose the ones that will wrap perfectly with the links in the chain. So this is when you want to use some glue.
Well, we had the glue earlier on.
We do. And the other thing I do is just twist a piece of wire to make yourself a loop at one end. and I'm just going to put it through a chain, one of the links of the chain, all the way through and out through a link of chain at the other end.
Fabulous.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So now that there's a little bit of space around here, I'm going to use this fabulous glue, which if you have never used this, it's wonderful.
We've got that at the bottom of the screen, by the way, so...
It's got that little angled end to it, so that you really do have precision, precision placement.
I think that's what they call it, a precision nib.
Yeah, so because I've already put the wire through to hold it, then it's easy to just put a bit of glue around the edge.
That's Rob's just saying that chain will look amazing with the Saraphanite later on.
Oh, it would.
You need a tiny amount of the hypo cement glue, by the
do.
way. And also a tip that I was told: you don't need to squeeze the tube.
No, you don't.
Gravity will actually sort of put the right amount out.
And the other nice thing about it is you have a few moments to put the lid back on again. And I need my specs on. I didn't bring my other specs.
There we go.
To get that on, and it pushes on, but that little pin in there will stop it from clogging up.
Yeah, and look how quickly that's secured.
It will, and you just leave that for a few moments, and that will be secure, and then you just hang your beads.
Wow, absolutely incredible. Now, kit is looking like it is sold out.
Has it really?
I'm not surprised at all. Well done, well done, well done. Because I think we're all in the mood for a safari. I think we're all sort of picturing ourselves on some
safari. Yeah. Who are you though? If out of all of that, you're the very swanky lady here who goes for the gin and tonic at the watering hole, or are you the hippie person who's?
Yeah, I would definitely be the gin and tonic under normal circumstances. Anyway, I would be. Maybe not so much now, but I definitely be the gin and tonic lady.
Well, shall I tell you about the gin and tonic piece first then?
Yes.
So
before you do,
yes.
Can you sew gemstones on here?
Yeah, by hand you'd stitch the gemstones on.
Now we had Botswana agate earlier on.
Yes.
Have you seen these?
Oh wow! Oh, they're edible. They're really lovely.
Look, Liz.
Oh, isn't that beautiful? The colours, the banding in there
You've almost got chatoyancy across these as well.
And the faceting makes all the difference, doesn't it?
Really does. You said about the coating. When we had
Yes.
Botswana agate earlier on, Liz actually said from here it looks like it's got a coating because
yes,
of the high gloss. It's not coated. It's totally and utterly natural. But it does. It's kind of like silvery sheens.
Exactly that. I like the faceted pieces more than the rounds in this because they just glow more. They just shine.
Sparkle.
Yeah, and sparkle.
They sparkle,
they do.
which is exceedingly rare when you're talking about an opaque gemstone, which is what it is essentially.
Yeah.
This is my favourite actually. I will both. I love the first one as well. I think you could mix and match them.
you
But
could.
look how just strong those bands are. You've got wonderful silvery glosses inside each of, almost like a chatoyancy. I'm not saying it is a phenomenal gemstone, but and I'm guessing it is the faceting itself which is actually producing that. This is wonderful quality.
It's just the more you look, the more you see. So some of them are really, really translucent, and others are really opaque. And you've got coffee colours and earthy colours and
maroons, almost
Yes.
greys, within blacks almost
Yeah.
as well. Absolutely fabulous. Look at this. I love what we're
gorgeous.
seeing on the screens
Yeah.
right now. $14.95. They are 10mm plain rounds for 250 carats of your Botswana agate. The reason why we wanted to bring this in is because I thought it would look amazing alongside this kit. Absolutely stunning, wouldn't
Yes,
it?
it would.
Especially with the Zari thread, which we're going to be demonstrating
Yes,
as well
we are.
in a few short moments. So it'll look incredible with that combination. $14.95 only. And going back to what we were saying, sorry to sound like a broken record, but Botswana agate is one of the most expensive because it's very distinctive, it's natural, it's not dyed in any way, shape or form, and it's the formations that really do enhance the actual value and the desirability of it. To me, it's like saturation to a tanzanite. It's that colour which is absolute key. We've got a message from Michelle in Derbyshire. Hello, loving the Botswana agate. They're like little planets.
They are.
The faceting just finishes them off and will go lovely with the kit. Wow, I totally agree. Because usually, and we said it again earlier, Liz, that usually if they're in plain rounds, beautiful, don't get me wrong, I love Botswana agate in the plain rounds, but faceted.
They're really, really gorgeous. So tempting. They are lovely.
Really incredible. And again, look amazing with the
They
agates
do,
that
they
you've
do.
got here and
Oh,
amazing with this kit.
Oh, I just saw that one. That's lovely.
Oh, should we show it? Should we show it? The one I'm actually hiding
Yes.
behind my hand. There we go. Liz is drawn to the one on the end.
I think it's beautiful. It's
That's
really
the
nice.
wonder of this of Botswana agate, is that you just get attracted to one in particular,
Yeah.
and then you move on to another
They'd
one.
go
You're
with
like-
the smoky quartz beautifully.
Yes.
They really would. That would be so classy too.
Somebody just texted in saying what? What I just said? Stunning with smoky quartz. Oh, there we go. What Liz just said. Yes.
Great minds think alike.
See, that's why you're
Yeah.
amazing jewellery makers. See, because you can see these things.
Yes.
Absolutely incredible. It's almost like fire coming off the surface. It's not fire, obviously, because you see fire internally, but the luster is reflecting the sort of the colours, I suppose, of the surroundings. So
It's really
wonderful.
I'm looking at the monitor and looking at the little lights, the edges, because each facet is sort of ringed by light. So the patterns are glorious, and I want to stop it and take an image of those patterns.
Yeah,
Just so I could draw them. They're so lovely.
Yeah, if you imagine the faceting of a round, it's like a golf ball, basically. You kind of
Yes.
get little angles all the way around
Without the
306. Without the dimple,
Yeah.
yeah. They are little flats, I suppose,
Yes.
that capture and play with the light. Leave that with you. Okay, now we'll come back to... We've got loads of new ins just appear before me now. This is I've never seen before. But before we get to that, we want to go to your...
We'll talk
Let's
about
do
this.
this.
Okay, we'll talk about this. This is a really, really simple piece, but I don't actually have with me all the wherewithal to do it, obviously, because I'd need my sewing machine.
Uh-huh.
But you need your Zari threads, and you need some cold water soluble stabiliser, or and that comes as a plastic or a papery form.
Okay.
Something that will wash out in cold water, not the ones that you have to iron out, or ones that go in really hot water, because the Zari threads won't like that. They don't mind cold water, but if it's hot water or an iron, they're not so keen.
No, I suppose because there are man-made fibres within.
Absolutely.
Okay.
So all you have to do is you take your... imagine that this piece of paper was my soluble stabiliser.
Oh, can you buy that from any...
You can get it from... Or you can get it online, you can get it from any sewing and haberdashery sort of place. And there's lots of different forms of it, but just
I
make sure
actually
it's
know
cold
what you
water.
mean, actually, because a friend of mine once taught me how to... We were sewing onto one.
Yes,
and
exactly.
then it actually dissolves, doesn't it?
Yes, you want to get one that's really quite thick, one that doesn't require a hoop. If it's very thin and it requires a hoop, then that's not so easy to do.
Okay.
Well, it's not so appropriate for this particular project. So all you need to do then is that well, actually, I took all these individual colours. I didn't do them all as one. So I keep them in a pot because it's easier, then they don't roll all over the floor. And I just take
That's a
whole
good
heap.
tip, actually. Never seen that before. I thought you were just, enjoying the yoghurt.
Oh yeah, I did enjoy the yoghurt, but along with the wine, my water bottle.
Yes. Liz, for those of you that didn't tune in first thing this morning, Liz has got a wonderful water bottle here in
I'll
the
bring
studio.
it out in a minute.
We all kind of went, yeah, we believe you. It comes in the form of a wine bottle, basically.
It was all I had. Okay, so then I just lay it down and do the same with another colour, and you let them happen. So I'll just, and you can decide whether how many sort of lengths you want of each one. Now this one, the one that's a bit like gunmetal, is a little less well behaved, but you can just straighten it.
Yeah, with your hands, the warmth of your hands.
Yep. And then you
It's
just
a little
let
bit
down.
more springy, curly,
It
isn't
is,
it?
absolutely. And then you put the next one down, and then you put your second sheet of cold water dissolve on top. And then you put it underneath your sewing machine, and you use a free machining technique. I think that's the one I like most. If you're not comfortable with free machining, you can just do straight stitching on your sewing machine, as long as you go back and forth like this, so that you trap everything. Because when you wash away the stabiliser, all you've got left are the threads. So if you haven't linked them together, it will fall apart. But if you're free machining or want to have a go with free machining, it's a bit like holding the pencil still and moving the paper underneath your pencil to draw with. So you lower the feed dogs on your machine, and away you go. Take up any walking foot you've got.
An amazing workshop.
It was really, really good. I mean, I used to teach this, well, before I got taken over with Friendly Plastic, I taught a lot of free machining.
Yeah,
but this
fabulous.
is really easy to free machine because this is really quite firm with the 2 layers of stabiliser, and so you can just go wherever you like. Swirl all over, it doesn't really matter. You could put some gold thread in the bobbin, which is what I did, some metallic thread because it's easier in the bobbin than through the needle, and just stitch to your heart's content. And when you've got stitched as much as you like, I did satin stitching around the edges on the machine, which is a close zigzag, which you can see on here, just to finish it off. And To make it slightly smoother and softer, or against your skin and things, I actually use some of the tulle again that we were talking about earlier on, just the black netting.
Okay, that's for comfort, basically.
Yeah, it is. You could also use, you know, a chiffon scarf and sew that one in as well.
Love it.
And you want it sheer, though, that's the thing, so that you still get to see all your threads.
Yeah, absolutely.
So when you've done all the stitching, you put it in cold water and leave it for a couple of hours because it's thick and you want to get rid of all of the glue, because it is effectively a sort of gooey glue. And if you leave it a lot in there, it will be really stiff. And slightly tacky, so you wash out as much as you possibly can. So it will, you leave a little because it will retain some stiffness, so you've got the structure there. But
it's still kind of like a fabric, isn't it?
It is. You've created your own fabric.
Yeah, wonderful, absolutely beautiful.
I curled the ends and made a pin with polymer clay.
Really? I was wondering what that was.
Yeah, just a little pin with polymer clay. Just really dead simple. I thought I wasn't going to fancy it up anymore.
Amazing.
Anyway.
I love that. And I do generally think that could be an amazing hat, or a mascot hat, or something like that.
Or you can make small bits and make earrings and things with it. So there's lots of possibilities.
Beautiful. Now, you just pulled out some wonderful chiffon there, and I was just like, oh gosh, that looks like this gemstone.
Oh, it does, doesn't it? This is a dyed chiffon scarf. I really think Hannah needs to get some of these for us, because this is so useful with textile stuff and with felting and all sorts.
Yeah, lovely colours as well.
Isn't it gorgeous?
I'm just thinking this next too.
Oh yes, look at that.
It just caught my eye when and I didn't know Liz had this in her bag there. These are brand new. It's your Let's Go Crazy. It's your lace agate, but gorgeous colours, almost bordering on mookite.
Yes. Oh yes.
Isn't it?
I think they're lovely. They're very earthy. I can think of Debbie Bulford as well.
Yes, Debbie Bulford will be loving these as well. We were talking about little planets. These are, again, I'm useless at astrology. Is it Saturn? That's a little bit more
orangey.
Orangey,
yes,
in terms of its colour.
Yeah.
These have got a lovely glow behind them.
Oh, and they graduated as well, aren't they?
And no.
I think they are.
Oh no, 2 different strands.
Oh, 2 different strands. Oh,
you've got 8mm in the plain round, and then you've got 10mm in the plain round. So it's a beautiful bundle. Which one are you drawn to? The one at the front. Wow, what? $6.95. Sorry,
wow.
I've got to stamp that bad habit out of me. I keep saying what to our producers. $6.95.
Amazing.
For 2 strands. That's not just for the one of them there. I mean, I love mookite, but it's a one location and I'm very rarely seen gemstone. Yeah. This is a great alternative because the mustards are so bang on trend right now.
They are, absolutely. And I love the chocolatey bits and the greys and the reds that are in there.
mulberry reds coming through as well. Again, like your Botswana agate, they'll have those lovely formations. Some will have banding, some will have lovely swirls, cloudy-like appearances. This one here, if I'm just drawn to this one here, because it's got a mixture of the greys and the yellows.
That's a lovely combination.
Isn't it? And then the one next to it is almost like a gorgeous zesty colour, almost apricot tones.
And the one next to that as well.
I know, where do we stop, Liz? Yeah. Where do we stop? Because
each bead.
We could be here all day, quite literally. Lots of you get it. It's $6.95. I mean,
wow.
This is, I've never seen crazy lace agate like it. Excuse me. I've never seen crazy lace like it at all in that colour. I mean, yes, it's dyed, but that's absolutely fine. It's a really... How do you dye a gemstone with multiple colours like this? I know, yeah, it has to be high-end quality agate, but I don't even know how.
Well, the different stripes would take up the colour differently, wouldn't they? I mean, because I
suppose different porous parts of the gem.
Yes, and because they've already got some colour, so if you put yellow on top of red, it'll become maybe a bit more orangey, and if it was on top of a grey, it'll go perhaps a bit
kind of like a layer.
Yeah.
Amazing. Don't you think it's amazing? They're fabulous. Again, would go incredible with this kit as well, wouldn't it? Just you could sew these with the Zari thread.
Oh, absolutely.
I'm going to leave these with you, and then we're going to go back to the lovely Liz.
Okay.
So I'm
going to show you how to make the long cords, actually, just that are on this 2 necklaces with a long
fabulous.
So you can just hook it over your neck instead of...
which I actually thought was wire initially. Yeah. It does look like wire, but it's going to be a lot more comfortable.
Oh, it is. It's really soft on your neck, actually. And you haven't got any worry about clasps and stuff.
Yes, so just tie it, can't you? Yes. So anybody with dexterity issues, this is a great alternative.
And if you want tall and elegant and you want something
longer... Sorry, that's me just putting your chiffon back.
So, you know, you want something, because that's quite really fashionable to have something
the
longer.
32-inch neckline piece, yeah.
Absolutely, so you don't need fasteners and clasps on that, and it's
Yeah.
just really good.
Yeah.
So, right, okay, so I'm just going to take my threads, and I've got, you could take anything, a thick cardboard or whatever. So this is just a board, my cutting board, my mobile cutting board.
Okay.
Actually, I usually put this on the floor to make it easier.
Do you want me to help you?
Could you just hold that low for me, or just put it on
I'll
the
pop
floor?
on the floor.
Thank you. Getting a pregnant lady to bend over.
That's all
Probably
right.
I shouldn't have done that, should I?
It's fine, I'm fine.
And so I'm just going to
Wrapping it round.
Does that? Okay, and you decide how. Obviously, your board needs to be half the length of your cord, your ultimate cord.
Okay, so one
Approximately.
side, you mean?
Yes.
One side of the neck.
Well, that there is it's going to be one side of the cord. If
Yes.
you see what I mean. So
Yes.
if you want to make a very much longer one, you need a bigger piece.
Yes.
So, okay. Anyway, so you do it as
That
many
makes
times
sense.
as you like, and I'm going to stop there. And I've got my scissors here. Just cut that, and I just want a little piece of that for one colour will do. Whoop. And then I can tie this. If I put that in the middle, is that going to be visible?
So you're just literally tying it all together?
Yep, just tie it all together. And I do a double sort of knot there. Tie it tightly, just for the moment. And I should have brought my scissors actually, my sellotape. So when I take this off here,
Top tip then, I suppose, to use something which is a little bit flexible.
yes, it is. It's actually quite handy. I did it around my mobile phone for a shorter one, and that probably wasn't the best thing.
No, you can't bend those.
No, you can't. Do you want to hold on to that for me?
I can.
If you notice,
Shall I drop that?
yeah, oh
Or
yes,
I'll tell you
please.
what I'll do,
yeah.
I'll put it around there.
If you notice that naturally twists, and
Yeah.
I may as well just talk about this while I've got it here. To do the very thick piece, which is just the hoop bit.
This one
yes,
here.
the half a moon there. You obviously wind it many, many times more than I've done here, and then it will naturally twist, and you can just enhance that twist. Just keep on twisting it.
Do you know what I'm thinking as well, Liz? You've still got leftovers, and you've made all of this.
I know, that's what I mean. There is
goes on and
such an
on.
enormous amount. So yes, you would enhance that twist and let it happen there. Okay, so now for this, I just want you to just hold that for me, because I'm going to get my wine bottle out.
Water.
It is honestly water.
Yeah. No, I put, yeah, bless her, it is.
Actually, it still smells of the wine from last night.
Does it?
Yeah, just
a bit of Chablis. It does. Liz asked me, she said earlier on, she was like, are you missing the booze? No, actually, which is surprising because I do like a glass of wine. I do like a glass of wine.
And that was so disappointing for you, wasn't it, Elle, when it was just water? Okay, so now we're going to put this in the water. And this is a really good way of straightening this out a little and making it a little bit more manageable.
Yeah.
Okay, and then we can twist
So
it.
just gathering them together as
Yes,
well, doesn't it?
it
The water
does.
holds them.
It does. So what I would normally do, because I've kept this in as a one-hole loop, if I remember my sellotape, there's always something I forget, I put sellotape across around all of those, around there, and then cut it in half.
Okay.
Okay, so then when you twist, you keep on twisting, and I'll just do it on this little bit, and you'll see that it actually forms a very nice cord, and it will stay there.
That looks like, because one of the jewellers that I used to work at, a certain type of jewellery, and I am making a direct comparison, so I can't say who they are, a certain type of jewellery, a very high-end brand, used to do like 18-karat gold fine, like the Zari thread.
I know what you mean, those sort of twisted chain things,
and then actually layer it all together in 3 different tones, and that looks exactly like it.
And normally I have to use the sort of a little rope maker to twist, to make a twist that's going to stay there. But with the Zari thread and the water, then they stay, and you can see how well they've stayed on those 2 long pieces over there.
They do. They haven't changed at all. They look amazing.
So what I want to do is show you the tassel.
Okay,
Just
lovely.
a quick tip for making the
That's
tassel.
here, your gorgeous tassel. I was wondering if you'd actually used a tassel maker, because we do stock those.
Do you?
Yes.
Okay, no, but I've used a pack of note cards.
Wow.
Actually,
I love
on my
it.
mobile phone.
Or your mobile phone. I love
Right.
it.
I'm going to grab the threads
Sure.
again. And
Wrapping
I'll
it
tell you
round,
what,
just a little book.
yeah, I'm just going to just take a little end off, so.
Don't forget, you've still got opportunities with that crazy lace agate. Make sure you do stay tuned for that, or do check out rather for that. I've also got coming up Labradorite at the top of the hour, Saraphanite at hour.
That is so gorgeous.
It is so gorgeous,
Yes.
I know. It's just jam-packed, Liz. And by the way, the kit is looking like it's sold out, but I've never seen crazy lace agate like this before.
It's beautiful, really beautiful. So for the tassel, you want to use a bit more. And I've just got to the end of my the pewter colour one.
Do you know, whilst you were wrapping that, I was thinking as well that I've got, and I was having to sort out the other day, obviously we've got to make clear one of our bedrooms, and I was finding all various different beddings and stuff that I'd used, and tassels, which I'd obviously bought from a very well-known interior
design shop.
place, yes. And they are nowhere near as lovely as these.
No, it's so easy to make tassels. You don't have to have fancy equipment, and you really don't. It's just really
I could have made
straightforward.
them.
Yeah, you can.
But of course then we didn't stock Zari thread.
No. So I put my wire, the last time I put a piece of thread round, I'm putting a piece of wire round, okay? And then I'm going to take my pliers to just start the twisting. You don't have to be right at the very edge because this is a loop, so you can just
adjust it
yes,
accordingly.
You can. Okay. So you twist that so that it's really tight. And then I'm going to now take my scissors while it's still on here, and that's at the top there on one side, about a centimetre down. So I'm going to cut on the other side,
kind
about
of opposite.
Yeah, exactly. You do want some reasonable scissors for this.
Fabric scissors will do.
Yes,
won't they?
absolutely. So this looks like one almighty mess. Okay, so then you've got your pull it down tight. And straighten it out a bit. We're going to sort that out in a minute. And then you take some wire or some thread and you can wrap that around to secure it. And I'll just do that quickly because I know we haven't got that much time because I want to show you the little tip. So I'm not going to finish that off beautifully, but you can see what you do there. So I'll just squish those in. So now to get a nice flat end, this is what you want a piece of paper for. Okay.
I'm seeing tips here, Liz, that I've never seen before.
Well, that's good.
That is good.
This is the textile side of me, you see, coming out.
Yeah, love it.
So I'm going to lay that in there, and I want to just make sure that the ends are approximately, they're sticking out the end. I want this to be, I want to know exactly what the length of my tassel's going to be. So I'm going to trim off that amount. So now you're going to roll that tightly. Okay, just tightly. You don't need to go all the way across, but you just want to be able to hold those ends tightly. You can, if you've got a shorter piece of paper, you can pull it up if you've left too much there. But now, when you trim off this edge, instead of having all that raggedy stuff,
you've got a straight edge.
Yeah.
It's a bit like putting the bowl over a child's hair and then cutting around it.
That's what my mum used to do for my sister and I. When we were number 5 and number 6 kids, she'd run out of patience with long hair. And we did have pudding bowl hair.
I certainly looked like I did, but yeah, I certainly looked like I did. Beautiful.
So then, to straighten it out again, we pop it in a bit of water.
Submerge it.
Just a bit of cold water, and you can straighten that down and let that dry.
Absolutely beautiful. So a great way of making tassels without a tassel maker.
Really, really simple. And you can do all sorts of fancy things on the top and whatever you like.
Love it, Liz.
So.
Now I've got time to squeeze in one more opportunity. Now this is, oh gosh, brand new.
Ooh, golly.
Purple tiger's eye.
I've never seen purple tiger's eye before.
Look.
That is lovely. Do you know, I'm not awfully fond of tiger's eye as a general rule, but that is stonkingly gorgeous.
Firstly, I love Liz's honesty, and then I love your honesty. I'm not generally taken by it, but isn't it stonking?
It really is lovely.
Stonkingly
gorgeous.
We're gonna zone right in. This is chatoyancy, obviously, from our tiger's eye. We've been sticking to those gemstones with those wonderful, wonderful mica inclusions, which play with the light. I thought, and I'll say to Liz, that Liz, you know what? Up until a couple of months ago, I'd never seen tiger's eye, which had been other than the sort of the natural colour.
Yes.
Until recently, and I was thinking, well, it was an assumption of mine, obviously incorrectly. I don't mind telling you I was wrong. And I thought, well, if you dyed tiger's eye, surely you'd lose the chatoyancy. Quite the opposite.
I'm amazed that you can get that colour from something that is sort of often mustardy browns and
things. Quite dark as a gemstone, isn't it? Yeah, and 100%. This is gorgeous. These are 8mm rounds.
Put that white paper behind it. Sorry, it's a delightful piece of white paper. Because I think you can really see it then. It's just gorgeous. The flashes of purple, coming out.
It's a lovely colour of
Yeah.
purple as well, isn't
Purple
it? It's
and
like
lavender.
a pansy. You know that
Yes.
purple pansy you get in the summer?
Oh yeah, it's an imperial colour as well.
Oh, fabulous.
Really lovely.
Tink, hello to you. She says, I have a lot of JM's purple tiger's eye and it's amazing. You must take it outside on a sunny day. I want to do
lovely.
that, Tink. Alan, hello to you, my lovely in London, saying those are stunning and look like little planets. Got mine, loving the deals, and great to have you back, Liz.
Oh, thank you.
Couldn't agree more, Alan. Incredible. And there's some of the most intense purples as well.
It goes from the lovely sort of vibrant purple through to almost black, to that really sort of inkiness. It's gorgeous.
Yeah, and you're really right to mention the fact that tiger's eye is a dark gemstone naturally.
Yes.
So to actually dye it like this, you'd think, well, I didn't think it would be possible. I certainly didn't think it would add to the chatoyancy, but it really does.
And that is tiger's eye I would have, and I would wear.
Yeah,
That's lovely.
and you're not a tiger's eye lover.
No, well, but largely because of the colour, actually. Because if I put mustard next to me, I just look.
Yeah,
mustard
fair enough.
all
I can't
over.
wear lime green. I look positively ill with lime
yeah,
green.
me with mustard.
There we go. Right, do stay where you are, everybody. Thank you so much, Liz.
It's a real pleasure.
Now, Liz is still not going anywhere. She's with us for the next hour or so. But right now, it is time for a brand new in, talking about phenomenal effects. This gemstone, it is all about that wonderful performance of colour. Here at Jewellery Maker, I'm going to say it, and I'm not even sorry. We give you some of the best Labradorite in the entire world, and certainly at the best deals. Bold statement, really, but one I wouldn't say unless I absolutely meant it. I do genuinely think we produce some of the finest, or we offer some of the finest Labradorite in the world. I do genuinely believe that we bring you the best possible deal. Certain gemstones, of course, trends go around, same as fashions and everything else, colours, without shadow of a doubt. Certain trends, and gemstones most specifically, are of the moment, and Labradorite is, whilst we've loved it for 5 years, I think you voted it for the past 3 or 4, was it, as your #1 top seller here at Jewellery Maker, couldn't be any more relevant right now. In speaking to Sarah Bennett, now if you're wondering who Sarah Bennett is, she's wife of Steve, who you sometimes see here at Jewellery Maker, certainly part of the gem buying team, our former CEO. She was our head of our design team on what was our sister channels. Very fashionable, very elegant lady, and she's got her own collections, and she's been approached by some of the UK's biggest department stores to stock those collections, which they actually do now. The reason why I'm mentioning Sarah is because she was actually asked recently that, okay, what gemstone, by a customer, what gemstone should I be buying and what gemstone would you recommend? And she actually said Labradorite during that question and answer, because she said the quality, the high quality is very, very, very scarce and exceedingly expensive. Monica Veneda is using it in a lot of her jewellery right now, a lot of the big establishments and big departments. Ultimately, you want that labradescence. Now, we've brought the graphics in, and I know that this is going to be one of the most incredible deals. You want the colours. So imagine a spectrum, imagine that sort of rainbow of colours. Normally, Labradorite can be so dark, almost black if you like, that you don't actually see that labradescence. When it is of quality like this, you can see, and it's got that mica presence, it's mica inclusions. If you've heard mica before, you've heard me say it a few times before actually, haven't I? I'm going to talk about it some more during your Saraphanite opportunity. Mica inclusions is used within paint, it's used within a lot of makeup to bring you that real sheer and shimmer effect, but it's trapping and playing the light and bringing you this wonderful phenomena. You can understand why Labradorite is so compelling and so adored once you've seen it once for the first time. It really grabs you, doesn't it? But this is some of the finest, like I said, and yet super affordable. 7x3 to 10x3, at $19.95. I've brought you cabochons of labradorite recently, I have, but rondelles, faceted, because usually they tend to keep it in the rounded shape to enhance the labradescence, no enhancement needed here. We're bringing it at $14.95, so very rare to bring you this shape and of this size. 25% of the stock sold instantaneously. Why? You know, because our jewellery makers who tune in regularly know, well, you can see the quality firstly, it doesn't take me to say it, but know that here at Jewellery, and they trust us, they know that labradorite that we acquire and we source and we send out is absolutely exemplary.
It is stunningly gorgeous, actually, and today in particular, I think I've seen more strands of wonderful stones that I would really, really want to buy myself than I've done in almost every other show I've ever done. Wow. Really, and I love that. I really love it.
Isn't it amazing? I mean, have you ever, I often call it the Heathcliff of gemstones because I actually think it's got a darkness to it, but a romance as well. I think it's quite intriguing and mysterious.
It is.
But here, I'm not thinking Heathcliff right now because it is a little bit softer in its main body colour, but the amount of labradescence coming through, and that's probably what's softening it, the amount of blues, the incredible flashes of pinks and golden tones that are coming through. I only wish I had a bigger quantity. I mean, they are big, sizable individual gemstones. I mean, you could take these and just limit, I don't know, 3 if you like, onto a sterling silver chain, and you've got something exceptionally high end.
The other thing I love about it is that I like wearing navy and grey and things like that, and it's not always easy to find a stone that really excites me that works with the navy and grey, that sort of tones in, and that works beautifully because it's from a distance it looks vaguely grey, but then you see all the sparks and shine of colour coming
everything
out.
else that's going on.
It's really
it is
lovely.
Intriguing, and a lot of our very clever jewellery makers who maybe, I don't know, have a bit of marketing background actually use this to attract customers to their business, to their stall, to their wherever it is that they're selling their jewellery, because it is an attractive gemstone, as in, you know, it's not. You've certainly heard of window dressing before. I mean, so they can get paid fortunes because it's all about attracting that consumer into the sort of shop doors. And this is one of those gemstones that is a real draw, an attraction. Well done. Do stay where you are on those phone lines. Check out as soon as you can, by the way, web bidders, because a lot of you I can see have still got it in your baskets at $14.95 only. Don't forget, talking about phenomenal gemstones, I tell you what, I think we've been absolutely spoilt rotten, don't you? At 11:30 we are, I'm going to say it again, the best Saraphanite that I've ever seen here at Jewellery Maker. It's a launch, brand new premiere, this beautifully angelic gemstone with its incredible feather-like inclusions. If you've seen Saraphanite before and it is more of a solid olive green, maybe even bordering on black, that's less desirable. You definitely want to have these beautiful individual markings. I'm just holding up 2 pear shapes here. You might get ovals, you might get squares, because there's a square one here. It's 100 carats in total that we're seeing, and again it's mica inclusions that are giving that lovely silvery sheen. Now coming up at 12:30, but just quickly, I've got time to recap what we brought you first thing this morning. These are amazing. If you missed out, they're brand new today, $19.95 picture jasper in the biggest size that I've ever. Usually they tend to be chips and nuggets, or maybe possibly rounds.
Small ones. You can get some small cabs of it, but that's really lovely.
These are huge.
I've seen some small cabs, but you know, only maybe a centimetre or 2.
Yeah.
Well, maybe 2 centimetres, but they're really lovely.
If I hold it up to the neckline, just to put it into perspective,
they're really big. They're bold, really bold.
$19.95 for 625 carats, and we had lots of messages coming in saying, Eleanor, I'm seeing a landscape, and that's the beauty of this gemstone, is because you can see the progression of it over the years. Make sure you do check out as soon as you can. Now, wow, I'm running out of time, but don't go anywhere because we've got so much more. 11 o'clock is all about your Saraphanite in my eyes, and of course more from the wonderful Liz, so I hope you can join us after this.
Tune in this Saturday for Gems of Distinction rubies and precious metals.
This is a Jewellery Maker announcement. Join us for our Vintage Fair weekend. We'll have all of your favourite guest designers creating bespoke jewellery and giving you lots of inspiration to get that vintage style from a bygone era, with classes on vintage combs, 1920s layered pearls and Art Nouveau brooches. You'll be glad you stopped by. The Vintage Fair weekend starts Friday the 19th of February. Now, off for a cuppa. 2 sugars.
Tiger's eye is a gemstone that can be masculine or feminine. It comes in like these luscious caramel colours, and when you get it in fuchsia, that's my favourite, when it's bright pink. Love that, and the chatoyancy makes it so different. It sort of follows you around the room, so it makes for some really interesting pieces.
Tiger's eye is one of the first gemstones that I was ever exposed to. My mum bought me a beautiful tiger's eye bracelet when I was away at university, and I've worn it ever since. It has a lot of personal value to me. Not only that though, the Jewellery Maker tiger's eye which you can get exudes so much chatoyancy, and more chatoyancy than I've ever seen from any other tiger's eye. The carat weights are brilliant, you can get it in dyed qualities, but it's the natural essence of the gemstone which I think people find so attractive about it, and that's probably one of the reasons why it's one of our biggest sellers.
In the UK, luckily for consumers, we have the Hallmarking Act that's some 400 or 500 years old now, and it protects the consumer against scrupulous people that are mis-selling gold and mis-selling silver. So it's different on different weights. For silver, you have to hallmark anything over 7.5 grams. Well, it's a strange number actually. It's 7.78 something, which is the old penny weight. The government decided they didn't want to have to hallmark their own pennies, but anything more than the old penny weight, you have to hallmark. When it comes to gold, being a more precious metal, they decided that anything over 1 gram, any article of gold over 1 gram, must carry a hallmark if it's set into jewellery. In fact, if you get right at the top end of platinum, anything over 0.5 gram needs hallmarking. But the great thing with gold is when you're putting gold into a jewellery piece that you're making yourself, you really are, what I say, adding inherent value. Gold will always be gold, it will always be kept, it can always be melted down and turned back into cash later on. And I always say that gold is like wearable investments. It's a way, and certainly all my good friends in India where we make most of our lovely jewellery, they also really subscribe to this belief that every spare penny you've got, you put into gold because you can wear it, you can enjoy it, and it's there for the family and the next generation.
Welcome everybody, and a very good morning. You're watching Jewellery Maker and my name's Elena. Now, if ever you've seen a gemstone that is called Saraphanite, you'll know that it is so beautifully, wonderfully elegant. It's got angelic connections, myths and legends associated, and that's coming up at half past 11. It always makes me a little bit emotional, and I mean that in a good way, because it just reminds me of nearest and dearest, present and past, of course. So if you have got a guardian angel, this is a wonderful gemstone to sort of symbolise that. Half past, 76 of them are available, guaranteed at under £30. £90. And I'm going to say it again, I think this is the best quality Saraphanite that we've ever brought you. It's not just one solid colour, you've got all of those feather-like inclusions, which is what you want to really see, that sort of angel wing detailing. But we've also got more incredible brand new ins, more bundles, more incredible savings. Can I just show you, it is more of a high-end strand, it is more of a considered purchase. But Topaz, which is coming up this hour, by the way, Topaz is a gemstone which is increased by the highest quantity percentage that I actually know of any gemstone. Above morganite, above tanzanite, above Ethiopian opal. Topaz has increased by 800% in the past 3 years.
Wow.
800%.
That's sizable. If only the bank accounts would do the same.
Yeah,
the savings
exactly.
accounts.
Whether that be London blue, whether that be Swiss blue, whether that be sky blue, colourless, whichever it might be, has increased by a huge amount. And a lot of big jewellers. Last time I actually saw Swiss blue topaz, when I was down in London, as you know, just recently, I always go to those certain jewellery establishments and those certain department stores, not because I've got any intention of buying their jewellery, it's not within my budget, but I went to the one, I can't say who they are, but you know, the one the royal family always goes to, and I saw Swiss blue topaz, quite a large collection actually. Last time I went there was only one piece, there was quite a large collection of Swiss blue topaz, and they were in 5 figures. The actual pieces of jewellery. Now, what is it that you look for? Celeste Heavenly Blue, and that's what you've got here. An intense, vivid, heavenly blue with amazing clarity, like so. Yeah, this is more of a considered strand, more of an investment, but if you're looking for that considered purchase, this with your 9 carat gold findings, which are coming up this weekend, would be absolutely amazing. And again, certainly something that I'd recommend you get valued. Coming up, but let's bring you all different price points, all different affordabilities, all different wonderful gemstones. And you've been loving the earthy tones, particularly today. You've loved the kit. I think that sold out. That wonderful agate that we just saw, the Botswana agate, was amazing. And I think, Liz, you actually said, oh, with the smoky quartz. We had messages into the studio, didn't we, with the smoky quartz? Yeah. Well, funny you should say that. Funny you should say that. I'll bring you smoky quartz in 12mm plain rounds, 375 carats each of beautiful clarity. Well, actually, you say diaphanity with your coloured gemstones, so do forgive me.
Diaphanity?
Diaphanity, yeah, it's referring to the light passing through the gemstone.
I've never heard of
clarity,
that.
I think people understand clarity a little bit more.
It's a word I've never heard of.
There we go.
Good one for one of those call my bluff things, isn't it?
There we go. That's something they never know might come up in trivia pursuits.
Yes.
So, beautiful quality and intensity of saturation. Not 1990. Or Liz, with the pearls that were in your first kit, with the picture jasper that you've just seen.
Yes.
£12.95 with the Saraphanite that's coming up for 750 carats of beautiful quality smoky quartz. I'm a very basic. My jewellery tends to be very basic, and it does. I'm quite a classic girl in terms of my designs as well. I personally look at the quality of these and think just not them.
Yeah. Yes, absolutely.
But I know our guest designers would go, Noelle, you could do so much with those.
But you can keep it really, really simple as well. They're not a strand that you'd have to sit there and think, what on earth can I do with that?
Yeah, absolutely. Because they're beautiful in their own right. Just one of these suspended on some of that rose quartz, yellow gold, sterling silver chain that we had first thing this morning would be amazing. And just one of them would be wearable in a pair of earrings, wouldn't it?
Oh, absolutely. Like in fact, I really think I would need those, because actually I could quickly make myself something to wear right now. Go with what I'm wearing. I think
there we
gorgeous.
go. Liz needs them. And we've just shown you the picture jasper cabochons. I mean, imagine one of these suspended from a strand of smoky quartz. I mean, how incredibly high end.
Oh, absolutely.
Just beautiful. And you've got, of course, the ribbons running through the actual formations of the picture jasper. £12.95, Rob. Well done. We'll leave that with you again. There's still opportunities. But it's going to be quite fast and pacey this morning. Moving on to box number 10. Oh, it is a lot of purple with your tiger's eye that's coming here.
That's a bluey purple, isn't it? It's beautiful.
Rondelles as well.
I love rondelles. I like the way they sit together, so they can make really dense colour if you want it.
Yeah, you can build up. This is
Yes.
almost like tanzanite colour.
It's
almost.
gorgeous.
It's a cross between tanzanite and Zambian amethyst with the purples. And I'm just making comparisons on the colours really here. It is your quartz, and you can see it's quartz just because the intensity of colours coming through. Gorgeous rondelles.
That is really lovely. It looks bluer on the screen.
It does actually. It looks more lapis colour,
yes,
doesn't it?
Yeah, but it's quite purpley from this distance as well, really. So I think you could take it either way,
Yeah.
to bluer or more purpley.
Absolutely, it's going to go amazing with your blue gemstones or with your purple gemstones, like what you've just seen there, or simply leave it together
Yes.
as is.
Oh yeah, it's just gorgeous.
I think it's one of those that when you take it out into different light conditions, sort of out in daylight, it might be more of the purple.
Yes.
And then in incandescent, it might be more of your blue
Yeah.
tones. Should be £13.90. Great stash replenisher. We're going to take it under, well, single figure price tag, shall we? Straight down. Over 300 carats for £9.95.
Do you know, I'm not going to work with Rob anymore. I need to work on when you're not on, so I can actually have a chance of getting this stuff.
Listen, I say that quite a lot.
Yes.
You know, yeah, that's the thing. I think as our guest designers, they tailor a show towards our producers tailor a show towards our guest designers
Yes.
so much, and often that they'll also put bundles together because they know the presenters will like as
Yeah.
well, and it means that we're going to miss out.
Exactly, you don't get the chance to get them because those are really, really lovely.
They're beautiful,
They
aren't
are.
they? Shall I hold one up to the neckline for you? And again, perfect charm bracelet.
Yes, and I would use them also as sort of maybe 4 or 5 beads at a time into space for something else because they've got such sparkle and colour. So you could just put 4 or 5 and then something else,
So
and then another 4 or 5.
You're thinking keep a few together to really
Yes,
to
I think
maximise
so.
on that purple. I mean,
Yeah.
look how classic this is.
Lovely, really lovely.
Really classic, isn't it? And again, you can see the facets, you can
Yeah.
see the lustre. You don't get that many purple gemstones, really, do you?
No, not that colour, not that depth of colour.
No, I mean, amethyst would like to be as intense as this, really is. And if it is, it's very considered. I was looking at an article, sort of Chopard and Van Cleef & Arpels and Bulgari, all using very intense purples. Amazing. Moving on to... Oh. Is this iolite? And amazonite. Brand new. You haven't seen these at all. What a combination, and not an obvious combination either. And I love it.
Yeah.
It really works. It does, Rob, it really works together.
It's very elegant colours together.
Of course, I like totally natural amazonite that you've got here. Can sometimes be treated. This isn't. It's natural. Beautiful qualities. Brand new. Absolutely brand new. Stunning. And it's not... Rob, you've got a real eye for colour.
Yep.
Do you
I think
agree,
so.
Liz?
I think so. It's sort of very Art Deco as well, that the colour scheme again, rather than having the stark black with that lovely sort of greeny turquoise, having that sort of smoky grey.
Yeah,
is
I call
gorgeous.
it like a denim colour. I think
Yes.
it's like a denim, and what do they call it? Indigo denim.
Oh, I know, yes, because it's from here, it's heading towards the greys, but it's just a beautiful, beautiful, sparkly.
Amazing.
Great,
And of
yeah.
course, high pleochroism that you get from iolite, so you'll see flashes of pinks,
Yeah.
wonderful reds coming through as well. Brand new and totally natural. All 3 strands. Liz, I wouldn't even look, honey.
Is it going to be? Oh,
2 strands of iolite and your amazonite. That's working out £3.30. What? 2 each?
do you know what we need? Is we need somebody sitting in the gallery who will take our orders, Elle, as we go through the show, and they can purchase them for us.
We do.
Yeah.
Or we need a direct buzzer, please,
Yes.
right through to our call centre.
Yeah.
A direct buzzer, meaning that the guest designer and the presenter want to get involved 100%. £3.32 for iolite. I always say, I think it could be the next big blue.
Yes, absolutely.
I think you know there's sapphire. You've got kyanite in the running as well. Iolite, just because it's so unique, it's a very distinctive colour, isn't it?
It's a very subtle blue, though. It's just really lovely. It's just a very contemporary, but at the same time, it makes me think of Art Deco.
Yeah.
I think it's the sort of the sea green turquoisey colour that does that for me.
Yeah, I think you're right. Yeah. Amazonite is a gemstone of the 1920s. They used a lot.
Of course it was. Yes, they used it for wedding rings and things, didn't they? Yes.
Used it a lot in the 1920s. Amazing. Well done. I love that. These are so pretty. Oh yeah, they're amazing. Right, let me just get a board. 5 individual connectors. These are beautiful. A ribbon. You know, like in the Olympics or the Commonwealth Games when you've got those rhythmic dancers and with their gymnastic movements and they create such amazing flutters, don't they, with
patterns
the ribbon
in the air with their ribbons. Yes.
That's what I'm seeing with these. Whenever we refer to sterling silver, if you hear the word liquid luster, it's referring to the high polish in particular. It's not necessarily a jewellery term, but liquid luster is referring to sort of the high polish and the real, grade, I guess, that you're getting within the precious metal itself. Now they are all 925 sterling silver stamped, and you can see that connection. I've got that lovely ribbon connectors where you've got 2 individual holes on the side, so you could put, if you multi-bought, you could create the most amazing sterling silver neckline piece with absolute ease as well. 5 in a pack, so you're getting lots and lots and lots of these, polished to a very high degree, and again a substantial amount of sterling silver here across the 5 in particular. Well, it's certainly way above the average gram weight of a ring. $8.95 for all 5. Liz, if you just imagine just putting 1 pearl on the bottom here and some sterling silver shepherd hooks, how amazing would those pairs of that
just really lovely. I like the shape because they add movement to a piece, so it's never just sort of all in one line. It has movement and irregularity to it, which I love.
It's not just that S shape either. If I hold it sort of on its side, you can see the curves.
Yes, they're beautiful.
It curves forward and backwards, doesn't it? I love that attention to detail. Yeah.
You know, you could have a couple of those and with the black spinel chain from the kit this morning.
Amazing.
Would be really nice.
These are I've never seen them before. And that's work. Wow, less than £2 each for solid sterling silver. £1.80 to be precise. Suffolk, Davinia, well done. Karen, Marilyn, Maureen, Fiona, hello to you, Tina, Vivian, Cherie, you've got yours. Shall we stick with the sterling silver? I'm going to bring you some more now. Moving on to some beautiful flower earrings. These are fun. Again, not seen these before. What I love about our findings, our sterling silver findings in particular, well in fact actually all of our findings, is the butterflies. If we're bringing you butterfly posts and backs, they're big butterfly backs, and so they're not going to get lost under the fingernail. Ladies, have you had that problem? And gents, I've had that problem time and time and time again. And also, and this might sound really dull and boring, but it's something I look for, having been buying jewellery for many, many years. I actually look for, when it comes to a pair of earrings, that little slight indentation, and it might sound like I'm being particularly picky, but actually that really adds to the security.
Oh yes, it really holds the butterflies on, because if you don't have that, they tend to slide off, particularly if you've got a fleshy earlobe.
Yes.
Detached earlobe, as I found out from Rebecca. My earlobe is detached, but it's also quite thick, so it needs that little mark.
I did not know that. People have detached and attached earlobes, apparently.
It scarred me for life, you know, knowing that my earlobes are detached.
Yeah, but you do need to consider it, don't you? Because how many times have you worn a pair of earrings and then, heaven forbid, lose them, especially genuine gemstones? You don't want that to happen. So the added security, and given the fact that these are precious metal, I'm going to assume you're going to want to use your high-end gemstones as well. I haven't even shown you the front here. They have got that lovely floral design, and then a little jump ring there so you can suspend or simply file off if you wanted to keep them as little studs. Now, 8.5 by 7 millimeters for 3 pairs, £6.95. That's working again, £2 what? 32 pence per pair of sterling silver earrings. I could easily hold these up to the ear for you as well if you want to see just approximately the size that they actually get to. Just tuck Tuck my mane away. Hold these up to the ear so you can actually see. There we go. Oh, hang on, what am I doing? Sorry, I'm just being a little backward with it. There we go.
They're very delicate, aren't they?
They're lovely, aren't they? And again, age appropriate. They'd suit everybody, wouldn't they?
They would, yes.
And again, because they've got that little jump ring at the top, you can suspend from them, create very gem heavy pieces, high carat weights, without the worry of them tilting forward if they were with the shepherd hooks. It's because you've got that added security of the butterfly back itself. And I will actually attach that for you. I wonder if you can hear that click as well. And I'm literally, yeah, you can listen.
Yeah.
Did you hear that?
Yeah,
then?
I did, yes.
Shall I do it again? Ready? That's the security that we're referring to. So you know that whatever you put on here, they are, without shadow of a doubt, secure and strong. High quality there, really high quality. Well done. Shall we bring you the King of Gemstones? As it is so fondly named. Briolette cut as well, perfect with those earrings that you've just seen. The King of Gemstones, that is, of course, your ruby. Recently broke the record as the most expensive colour gemstone sold for a cool 19 million.
Ooh, wow.
And it's only, it's one solitaire. I say only, it's beautiful, don't get me wrong, but it's one solitaire in an amazing kind of like princess cut. Now, again, with your high-end findings, your 925, your gold, which is coming up this coming weekend, these are individual briolette cuts. Look how consistent that colour is. Every single one of them matched to perfection. And you've got a lovely size here. Slight graduation from 4x3 up to 6x4. So you can mix and match those sizes. Again, with the black spinel that we had earlier on today would be incredible. Should be £39.95. Full £10 saving. The average carat weight of a ruby is 2. So it's actually one of the higher averages. But yet here you've got 35 carats on the strand. I don't know many people that will own 35 carats of genuine ruby outside of the JM family. $29.95 only. I mean, how incredible would it be for all of you July babies? Any July babies out there?
There must be.
I'm sure there is. Yeah, well, hopefully.
Yeah.
I'm expecting a little July baby as well. So beautiful chart. You've got one of the most incredible gemstones as your birthstone. How wonderful would it be to create a suite of jewellery, a simple design, allow all of the colours, the quality of the gems to be the showstopper, I suppose.
I just think that is so beautiful and so simple, and it would just be lovely, just as a simple necklace. Just the beads spread out slightly, maybe you know, with a bit of chain, or just with space beads or whatever, just to let them sing. Yeah, and they would really grab attention, wouldn't they? Whilst they're not the biggest sizes of ruby that we've brought you, but they are certainly some of the most beautiful colour, and also a wonderful. They're delicate, aren't they? They are. That's why I think you wouldn't want to put too much with them. Yeah. Otherwise, you'd lose them. You'd lose their beauty, and they would make a perfect gift for a mum with a little girl on the way. Mother's Day as well. Yes. Mother's Day coming your way would be absolutely amazing. Yeah, I mean, we've brought you ruby where the bigger size, maybe a little bit more organic and rustic in their shape. This is all about, you know, embracing the delicacy of the gemstone in one of the most beautiful cuts. And we were talking about it earlier, Liz and I, about a briolette, which is just steeped in history, been around for hundreds of years, perfect for waterfall cascade-like designs. Well done. Stay where you are on those phone lines. Moving on to brand new Tiger's Eye. Now, we had brand new Tiger's Eye earlier on. Has it sold out? Now, we had purple Tiger's Eye earlier on. So what have we got now? Electric blue. Rob's found the most amazing colours. Really, really saturated colours this time. Oh, my goodness. These are hexagons as well. I'm going to move my hand just ever so slightly, gravitate, just so the light can really fall across the surface of the gems. Look at the chatoyancy. It's like a lightning bolt of electric blues. Those. They're lovely. This with the purples. Yeah. I think gorgeous. Aren't they incredible? Yeah. What would you do with these, Liz? Because they are a unique shape, aren't they? I think the thing about that shape also is they tessellate. So you can join, you know, make patterns from them. So wire them together in little groups of 4 maybe, because they are lovely. And then you just have a little offset group of 4.
A bit like that?
Yes.
As best as I possibly can,
Yes,
without
absolutely.
actually sort of...
And you can link them together, make a little bracelet with it, like that. Because I love that blue, and I always say this, I like to have something, if I've got a stone I really love, I want it somewhere where I can see it.
Yeah, 100%, I get that.
I don't want to keep looking in the mirror, I want to be able to...
Yeah, 100%, and just one of those onto some beautiful chain or on some thread even would look amazing. Should be $9.95 now. We've brought you brand new strands of Tiger's Eye this morning, and they sold out, and I think this is going to be exactly the same. Electric blues for $6.95 only. Similarly, if you're very new to jewellery making, it's so easy to just simply create a stretchy bracelet. All you do is get some of our one of our threading packs. I'd recommend double stranding it. Do a secure knot, a little bit of clear nail varnish, and you're good to go. You've got a stunning piece of jewellery. Maureen, Diane, hello to you, Davinia, London, Muriel, Natasha, Vivian buying 2 of these. I'm not surprised at all. Gorgeous colour. And again, electric blue, I think pretty much everybody can wear it. And I can picture it at weddings and things like that.
Oh, absolutely.
Summer weddings.
It adds the pop of colour that sometimes you want, because you don't want everything to be matching in your outfit, so you want that pop of a different colour. So the stone size is perfect because it's not an enormous pop. No. It's just a perfect pop.
Yeah, it's going to fit. It's going to fit all frames as well, isn't it? A bracelet, necklace, and also frames of the lady or gent that's wearing it. $6.95 only. Well done. I've got time to squeeze in one more opportunity before your Saraphanite, which is literally just minutes away. And oh, wow. Oh, now I'm trying to think. Where did I see this before? I think it was with Fleur. Guest designer Fleur. I've seen this strand, and you are getting more, but I just want to show you this one first. And Fleur was like, that's the most delicious fluorite. Because you've got... Fluorite's the most colourful mineral on the planet. But you've got definite blues, definite purples, definite yellows, definite greens.
That is gorgeous. I can see it clearly now. That is really lovely.
That's what I love. I think we were discussing that on air, is the fact that you've got the real distinction between the two, the actual colours itself. But let's add to that, we've also got oodles of fluorite in a 360 strand here. Totally and utterly natural. Sometimes fluorite is actually sort of irradiated like a topaz, but no, not the case here. Wow. Rob said he was going to be bringing you some amazing deals. $5.95.
Oh, that's so good, because that could be really casual if you wanted, you know, to wear with your jeans and things, or you just dress it up with something, maybe the odd pearl or something. Yeah. And wow, it's changed completely.
Can you imagine then if you go into sort of red carpet event, maybe something where you've got a little bit of a disco going on? Yeah. I know, I'm old school disco, but a little bit of UV light going around, and this gemstone will physically glow. Hence fluorite, fluoresce. It has got that physical ability to glow under UV light. But look at these intensities of blues and greens, and super affordability. Buckinghamshire, Susan, London, hello to you, Magali, Angela, Marilyn, Elaine, Eileen, hello to you, Barbara, Vivian, Natasha. So many of you getting involved. Of course, Mark Smith's favourite gemstone, and I can understand why, because I think it's ticking a lot of boxes, isn't it? You could separate it to actually have one individual colour, whether it's the Tucson green, whether it's the purple colour, whether it's the blue colours, whether it's the bi-colours, or you can keep it sporadic like so. To be honest, I think it's lovely as it is, mixed up together.
I like it like that. It could also be masculine if you wanted it to be, but it's also very feminine depending on what you put it with. It's really versatile. I love that.
And particularly in these shapes as well. Yes. In these shapes. Don't be frightened by our chips and nuggets. In actual fact, they can bring some of the most impactful designs, especially if you layer it up. Maybe mix it up with some other blue gemstones or purple gemstones or green gemstones, whichever. Absolutely amazing. Now, I am running out of time, so please do stay where you are on those phone lines. It is time for your next star buy, and I tell you what, this has to be one of the showcases of the entire week. Now, this gemstone is believed to be a protector of God's very throne, if you believe in all your myth and legends, of course. but this wonderful gemstone has got real sentiment. Again, angelic connections, strong and positive beliefs behind it, and displays of incredible chatoyancy that create wonderful, fascinating feather-like inclusions from silvery mica traces in the wonderful gemstone. Here at Jewellery Maker, yeah, we've been bringing you wonderful, genuine gemstones for over 5 years now. And I've seen different collections at retailers. I've sold different collections of at retailers of Saraphanite in the past. But when you actually get such, almost like a work of art that Mother Nature has created, like each of these are, it can command hugely considered price point. Now, just to make everybody aware, we have got just 76 of these available in the world. I guarantee it under 30. It's going to be first come, first serve. And I hope we've got, like, I've been trying to get a message out to the lovely Fleur, because I know this is a very favourite gemstone, and months, probably 6 months even, can go past from seeing it from one day to the next. Ladies and gents, it's time for your beautiful Saraphanite. Absolutely incredible. Graphics in straight away. Like I said, a limited opportunity for high quality Saraphanite, and there is, as with any gemstone, always different degrees. A lot of legends, a lot of beliefs, a lot of religions, whatever those religions might be, associate this gemstone with nothing but positive connections, angelic connections. It's believed to be a protective gemstone, like your guardian angel, if you like, always looking over you. It makes me emotional thinking about this gemstone, in actual fact. And I was saying it, Liz, don't be surprised if I do get a little bit sort of carried away, because I'm not saying it's absolutely true. I mean, who am I to say that? But just personally, it really sort of, it's very close to my heart. But Saraphanite, Hebrews actually sort of thought it was the highest order of angel. So I mean, any of the gemstones, you know, could have that connection. And I've certainly talked about protective beliefs with gemstones before, but you can actually see it in Saraphanite. You can actually understand where those myth and legends actually come from. It's not just a throwaway comment. You can actually see where that story, if you like, because I can't say it's true. It's a belief, but you can understand where those connections actually come from. But Saraphanite, it's the mica inclusions. If you can imagine layers of this gemstone building and building and building and building and building, the mica inclusions will play and trap the light. They're kind of like tiny silver shards. And when they're so closely compact like they are in each of these cabochons, haven't even shown you that, and this is just a handful of collectors that have already made those confirmations. Really, a quarter of the stock has gone. Okay, I'll hurry myself up a little bit. So when they are closely compact against one another, they form amazing, like a feather, basically. Picture a white feather, if you like. Again, there's lots of good luck attached to that as well. That's when you see, and a chatoyancy, so it's silvery, gorgeous sheens, built up closely together. That wonderful angel wing effect or bird effect, whichever it is that you believe. Ultimately, when it comes to Saraphanite, it's more usual. There's one locational gemstone, by the way, and it does come from a location in Russia, tends to be more of a bold colour. When you've got all of those silvery mica inclusions, it is the ultimate, basically. The physical and spiritual properties of this stone are just absolutely endless. It comes from one of the oldest lakes, sorry, the oldest lake rather, on the planet, and that's a lake, and I always try and say this wrong, Baikal, which is, or Baikal, sorry, it depends how the pronunciation is, I don't know, I don't actually speak Russian, but it's a beautiful location, and you can see that beauty in the gemstone as well. Going back to those angelic connections, it's believed to help us communicate with our own angels, and again, it's believed to have that protection from those guardian angels themselves. Now already over 30% of the stock has gone. You've got 100 carats. Every single one will have this amazing quality, absolutely incredible quality. and but I can't guarantee the sort of the shapes and the sizes you get individually. It's 100 carats in total. The lake itself, if you think about Russia itself, often very, very cold, isn't it? Again, chrome diopside is another gemstone in that location where it's only mined a few months of the year due to those extreme weather conditions. If you do look up Lake Bulkel, you'll see that it's completely frozen over. And it's funny actually that Liz actually mentioned that, you know, when you wake up in the morning and you can see a frost, but you can physically see the frost itself, or maybe sort of the snow-like formation, snowflakes and patterns itself. This gemstone actually displays that, so it's emulating the beauty of the location. One location absolutely astonishing. I really hope, I really, really, really do hope that if you have got a sentiment, if you have got, sometimes we all just need our, and this is me just getting a little bit sentimental now, but sometimes we all need an arm put around us, don't we? I'm not too proud to say that. I think it's good to be able to say that we need a little bit of a helping hand. This gemstone, I'm not saying it is going to do that, but kind of gives that warm, fuzzy feeling, I suppose. We've got a message coming in from Elaine in Cardiff, got mine. You can never have too many angels around you. Oh.
That is lovely. Yes, I know quite a few people who really value this because of the angel connection.
Yeah, I do as well. It always makes me emotional. It's a gemstone that, look, you can see, Liz, I'm off again. Look, yeah. It is a gemstone that really makes me emotional because I just think about, and it doesn't have to be sad stories. It can be, you know, past and present, loved ones, nearest and dearest, that you just, you know, that this has just got a real sense behind it, that they're on your side, if you like. And I'm not particularly one that believes in a whole lot of stories. I'm quite scientific, given the fact of my qualifications and things like that. You know, my A-levels were biology, so I do believe in things like that rather than sentiment, but I am also quite an emotional person when it comes to beautiful gemstones just like this. And this gemstone, like I said, the guardian angel of all wearers. We've only got 16 remaining, $24.95, absolutely incredible. Can I also just show you, because we've polished the surface here, if I just turn these round, so these are more of a matte on the back, but look, there's my mica inclusions again reflecting and playing with the light, absolutely incredible. And again, literally there's not a single area of that Saraphanite which is not displaying those sort of feather-like inclusions. We had only, what was it, 76? Yeah, 76 in the world, that's it. And they'll all sell today without shadow of a doubt. And I was talking to a good friend of mine the other day, and I'm sticking with this. I want to talk to, hopefully you don't mind, about this some more. I was talking to a very good friend of mine, and she was telling me, she was saying, look, a friend of mine is going through a bit of a tough time right now. I'm not going to get into that and everything. She said she's actually having a tough time, and I know this lady very well. So I actually sort of just sent her a little token, basically, and it was a little shamrock, because of course we associate that with good luck. Similar, if you know someone that just needs that little bit of support right now, Saraphanite is a wonderful sentimental gemstone, and I really do think will capture their hearts. I think it's a great giftable opportunity for somebody that does actually need it. Only 6 remaining, so please don't leave it in your baskets. Lorraine, Margaret, Natasha, Rosie, Lynn, Jane, Susan and Cheryl. You can hear I've called more names than we've got available now. 4 remaining now in the world. That's it. I mean, since we've been established here at Jewellery Maker, we've brought you Saraphanite in the past. Very seldom, very, very, very seldom. But quality like this is just, well, it's textbook.
I've never seen, A, I've never seen it on the show that I've been on, and B, I've never seen anything quite as lovely as that. It really is special.
Liz, I get it's not just me. Is it an emotional stone?
Do you know, it reminds me, I think, when I was going through my exams, you know, O-levels and A-levels and things, I used to have a lucky stone. And looking at that, and I'm thinking, that must have been what it was. And I used to have that in my pocket going through all the exams. So yes, I think it does. It was, I never collected or had stones, but just that one.
I don't know why. It just pulls on your heartstrings so much.
It is so beautiful.
Yeah.
It really is, and it does have feathers and wings and ice and snow, and you know, it's lovely. And really lovely.
It gets me emotional every single time, every time. And by the way, we used was our sister channels, and I actually asked Amelia earlier, I said, have we still got some of our sister channels jewellery here? Because if you ever came to a workshop, you might have seen the odd piece of Saraphanite in a piece of jewellery. I wanted to show it to you because it's so amazingly beautiful. I've got to move on. Well done to every single one of you. I know you're going to love it when you get it home. Moving on to... Ooh. Both Siberian gemstone from one location to another, straight into... Now, our country of origin says Africa on the bottom of the screen. That's where we sourced it from. So basically, that's where we bought this parcel. It's not where the gemstone actually was actually unearthed. Wonderful lavender colours, totally natural. Obviously, charoite, very feminine. We were talking about this earlier on, weren't we, Liz? About embracing our feminine charms.
Yeah. Well, they look good with pearls too.
Hang on a minute. I can't see that. I can't see. I did think it was... Wait. Oh, okay. In fact, keep it with the kunzite. Right, so that's in the wrong space. I was thinking the same. It's more of a lavender colour. It's kind of like the purple version of your Saraphanite. You'll know what I mean. You'll know exactly what I mean. It kind of has those feathery inclusions. It certainly has a mica presence within this gemstone. It is often, it can be found in white colours, pink colours, like what you've just saw, the greys, browns, obviously a little bit less desirable. You want it to have that lovely lavender, so a more intense colour. So the pinks that you saw actually earlier, I was thinking, oh, okay. It's actually, that was kunzite, but it does come in those beautiful hues, but this is the quality that we aspire to. Now we should be at $24.95, one locational, so again from Siberia, totally and utterly natural. This has only been on your screens once previously before. $19.95. I'm just thinking this look amazing with the Saraphanite.
It would.
Because you've got almost the mica inclusions and the movements within. Oh, look, it's like a little planet.
They're gorgeous. Yes, it is like you're looking at planets, actually.
We've been talking a lot about astrology, haven't we?
The clouds surrounding a planet.
Look at this one there, which is laid down, the one which is touching the surface. Can you see that?
Yeah.
We've actually got a flash of green running through. Fascinating gemstone and totally and utterly natural. This gemstone, again, it is single location and only mined, well, very difficult to mine, again, through to the extreme weather conditions. Charoite has actually got sort of potassium and calcium within, which brings out these wonderful depths of colour. But very visual, and I love the fact that this show has been all about really visual, textured gemstones and
vibrant colour.
Vibrant colours,
yes,
absolutely. And we were already saying as well, Liz, that the purple gemstones actually aren't. There's not that many.
No, not when they've got a real depth of colour to them.
No, I mean amethyst is the obvious one, yes, I suppose.
But even then, a lot of the time you get amethyst, it's actually quite pale, in colour. Yeah,
this is totally natural. And it's got more than just colour behind it. It's got interest, hasn't it? They are each individual in their own right. You've got wonderful cloudy-like formations, and again, that's what you want with these beautiful gems. Anna, Jennifer, Justine, hello to you. Sorry, Justin in Yorkshire, Claire, Belinda, Patricia, Anne in Carmarthenshire, Kalisha, you've got yours, Tyne and Ware, you're very close, London, you're on those phone lines. A very wearable size of 6mm, and I personally just restrand them, keep them as they are. Wonderful, well done, well done, well done. Okay, moving on to... Wow. Let me see if I can remember my celebrities. Angelina Jolie, Miley Cyrus, Taylor Swift, Sandra Bullock. Gosh, I could go on and on and on and on. Now, these are all Hollywood A-listers that have chosen to wear this very gemstone and have been pictured on the red carpet in various top designers' pieces. showing off the beauty of the gemstone that it can be and the beauty that it is in this beautiful strand. These are briolette cut spinel. Oh, Rob says I've been saving these for a little bit later on in the show. Gosh, time is absolutely racing by. And stacked onto this beautiful strand. Now, black spinel comes in an array of colours. You can have black, you can have pink, you can have red, you can have blue, you can have sort of lilac-y tones as well. Black spinel is the only one which is most definitely opaque. Now, so when you look at black spinel, because you're not going to see internal brilliance, this gemstone which forms the same way as a diamond, so very, very durable. It's all about the surface luster. So the faceting, wow, look at this. The faceting is absolutely key. The more sparkle, the high degree of polish, the mathematically precise angles, which have to, is particularly with a briolette cut like this, have to be so on the nose that just the smallest millimetre out, you'll spot.
Well, they look like, it's like flashlights going off for somebody walking on the red carpet.
They do, don't they?
Yeah,
you
the way
can
it
understand
sparkles.
why the celebrities all choose black spinel.
Yeah.
I mean, they could choose diamonds, couldn't they? They could choose what we should be $17.95.
How many are on there? There's loads on there.
Oh, I'm going to say at least 50.
Yeah, there's loads.
$12.95.
Oh.
Earrings, suspended pendants, the lace that we had earlier
Yes,
on would be amazing.
absolutely. That would be really gorgeous.
Elevate them to maybe have a fabulous tiara-like design. These were some pearls, effortless, that monochrome beauty. These were the gold findings that are coming up on the weekend.
Yes.
Absolutely incredible.
They'd look good with the clear quartz as well.
Oh, clear quartz,
Yes.
fabulous, aren't they?
Really lovely.
I mean, there's a reason why spinel, and many designers, and if you want inspiration, by the way, do have a little look at Lorraine Schwartz, because she tends to actually do one-of-a-kind designs. That's why the big Hollywood A-listers tend to model them at various different award ceremonies, etc. Great idea of inspiration as well, but she loves black spinel, and she's created some fabulous pieces with it, but it can also be contained and kept very simple, because I always call it one of the most seducing of gemstones. I think it is a very seductive gem.
I think so. It's luscious, and actually, for my money, I'd go for black spinel too.
Over the black diamonds?
I think so.
Fair enough.
The fact that it's a diamond doesn't necessarily do it for me.
No.
But it's the impact of that
I
has
agree.
a load more.
There's black spinel's definitely a midnight black, isn't it?
Yes,
There's no denying it. Whereas a black diamond can sometimes look like it's got like oil over the surface. Now, I love it. Don't get me wrong. I own black diamonds myself, but yeah, I agree. In terms of your monochrome gemstones, I'm spinel all the way as well. Certainly at $12.95. Well done to every single one of you. Now, got so much more to bring you, including some incredible star buys coming your way. Gosh, today's show's been jam-packed full of new ins. More from the lovely Liz, and of course, don't forget we've got your Wall of Fame coming your way. But right now, it is time for your star buy. So, over the past few years, as with every year, things change, things turn around. Sometimes gemstones will decrease in value. Maybe that's because they have become a little bit more fruitful. Certain locations might have been discovered and quality, which makes it more accessible to the trade. And vice versa. Let's just say that in this star buy, it is definitely the vice versa. It is the latter of what I was just saying. In fact, I can't think of a single other gemstone which has increased to the degree that Topaz has. Firstly, I can understand why so many jewellery houses and gem hunters and collectors and connoisseurs love Topaz, because firstly, it's a very durable gemstone. It's very high on the Mohs scale, so it's a perfect gemstone to wear by day, by night, every day, should you wish. It's a gemstone which is, I always word it like naturally brilliant forming, meaning it loves to have internal clarity. Often you'll find that Topaz it can be more flawless than a diamond can, more frequently anyway. So you get incredible displays of fire, a wonderful brilliance from this gorgeous gemstone, and also it can really absorb fantastic colours. So London blue topaz, which is more that indicolite colour, more of a teal colour, teal blue. Swiss blue topaz, which is sort of second down to the actual darkness of the blue, but very energetic, almost neon. You get sky blue, which is more bordering on your aquamarine colour. Then you can have imperial topaz, which is actually more of a paprikaceous sapphire colour. Colourless, of course, all different tones. Can be treated, can be natural as well. Has increased by a phenomenal 800%. Now, you can understand, like I said, why all the big designers are looking towards it. I was in that big department store, the one down in London that our royal family often shop at, and I saw pieces of Swiss blue topaz, and I'm not exaggerating, for £46,000. I mean, don't get me wrong, they were really beautiful, and they had amazing diamonds around them, and they were in probably platinum, or it was 18 karat gold. I don't know. I didn't look too hard, but yes, 5 figures, and that's actually not unusual. I was watching a program the other day that was talking about you know, those ones where people change their entire lifestyle, they up sticks, go off and start a new business venture or something like that. A gentleman had done that. He was some high profile businessman in one of the capital in probably our capital city, I don't know, and he'd up sticks and he was dealing in genuine gemstones, and the collection that he was showing, which was being sold to the rich and the famous, was actually topaz, London blue, Swiss blue topaz. Now this is brand new. Yes, it's more considered, but what you're getting is very much considered. Now, if you are waiting for the gold findings, this is what I would be using with it, 100%. Because when it comes to your topaz, you want clarity. You want to see every single one of those facets. You want to see brilliance. You want that neon colour, because a Swiss blue is one of the most intense of saturations, and yeah, it's not a natural gemstone, but you know what, it's the first gemstone that I actually came to buy myself when I came to work here at Jewellery Maker, because I'd never ever seen, in all of my years of working with genuine gemstones, never seen topaz with that much of an energy of saturation and anywhere near the price tags that we can bring it to you at. Already collectors and connoisseurs are getting involved. Even under what we call a soft focus, you can see that glorious glow and the paparazzi flash. I always refer to this gemstone as the diva gem, because to me it's like Joan Collins. It walks into a room and it just commands attention. You just, whether it's the tiniest individual briolette faceted pear like this, you're going to notice it. You're going to be drawn towards it. Do you see what I mean then, Liz?
Yes, it is. It's a stonkingly fabulous piece.
It is. And it's one of the rarest, scientifically proven, this is one of the rarest colours. Now, I know that this has been irradiated, and by the way, that's a very safe treatment. It is influenced to bring that gorgeous colour, but it's one of the rarest colours, so that's why probably your Bulgari, your Chopard, your Tiffany's, your Harry Winston even, your Boodles use really intense colours like this, because they do draw and captivate. $84.95 only was already an amazing deal, but we're going lower. It is a considered purchase, I understand that. I know that this is a price point that we're going to have to think about, but this, however, if you have got $64.95 spare currently, this is a purchase. I can't say that I get told off for it, because I can't say that any gemstone is an investment, but this is a purchase which is without shadow of a doubt of exemplary quality, with glorious saturations, and that's everything that we look for as gem collectors. as gem buyers, as traders, as jewellers, as jewellery makers, either or. This is something I would personally invest in and just keep until for the future, for future generations, because I do think this is what we call a legacy strand. $64.95 only. Again, check out as soon as you can. I can see lots of people with it in the baskets. Marion, you've done it. Maureen, Rosemond, you're there. Susie's there. Derbyshire's there. Marion, congratulations to you. I've also got London on those phone lines. I'm wondering, you know what, wouldn't it be funny if that said programme that I was watching, and it wasn't about gemstones, it was actually about sort of, you know, changing your lifestyle. Wouldn't it be funny if that gentleman was actually watching right now and he was like, I'm going to buy those? Because he would. He would. Maybe even does source it from Jewellery Maker. I don't know.
You never know.
You never know, do you? Absolutely incredible. More people on those phone lines. I'm not surprised. Shall I count them for you as well, just so we can work it out how much per gemstone? Because we've got here 6x4. Well, if you think about a gold ring with maybe a couple of accenting diamonds either side, would usually be in a pear cut, maybe about 7x5 millimetre. So you've almost got that in each pair. In fact, you've got an excess than that on some of them. So just imagine these set into gold, which we're bringing you this weekend as well. I'm just going to count them for you, and this is a considered strand. So check out as soon as you can. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20, 22, 24, 26, 28, 30, 32, 34, 36, 38, 40, 42 individual solitaires right there. Wow. That's working out at £1, 54 pence per individual gemstone. I mean, if you had the ability to prong set these in gold.
Oh, wow.
Absolutely incredible.
That would be really lovely. Really amazing.
Incredible. Well done. Do check out those baskets. Well done to you, Marilyn, Deborah, Shona, you've got yours. Rose, Midlothian, you're there as well. I've got to move on in the essence of time. Now, it's been a joy, hasn't it, Jewellery Makers, to have this wonderful lady in the studios. It is Liz. Liz, thank you so much.
It's a pleasure. I've really enjoyed it.
I hope so, because we've really enjoyed your company as well. And, of course, loads of inspiration from Liz as well. When are you back next, do you know?
I think it's March the 16th. It's something like that. Yes.
Do you know morning?
Morning, it'll be morning. Yes.
Fingers crossed then that's with me. I really hope so. More coming though next hour. We've got some last in stock opportunities. We've got a brand new multi-gem opportunity coming your way in a star buy. More incredible deals. Gosh, it's absolutely been shoehorned into this morning show. Can I just say as well, once again, your lady's friend with the
Jennifer Peacock with the
Jennifer, please do get in touch with me and anybody else that's interested. It's for charity that wants to get one of these beautiful handmade little bunnies. So amazing. I want one. There we go. Put it out there. I want one. Absolutely incredible. Liz, thank you.
It's a real pleasure.
She's
See you
wonderful.
again.
She's wonderful, isn't she? But don't go anywhere. I'm not. I'll be right here just after this.